Oh, he took his headphones off. Oh, rookie move. He took his headphones off so I can say whatever I want. He can't yell at me. He doesn't know what I said. Hi. Good morning. It is currently 11:07 a.m. in Los Angeles, California. Um, Welcome to my new stream. It is me, Kanon XO. For a limited time, if you guys didn't hear about this, we're running a special promotion. For every gifted sub that you gift, your wiener grows by 1 inch. Wow, amazing! FDA approved, scientifically proven, and it does stack.
All right, so we'll begin. Gina, thank you so much for joining me here today. This is a new podcast series that I've started, and in this podcast, just so you know, this is adult talk, so cursing, all that stuff goes. It's just free talk. It's two individuals getting to know each other, and I would love to hear your story. Get to know a little bit more about you. I had the opportunity to meet Gina during the G4 tournament, the Lost Ark tournament that was hosted by G4. She was one of the participants. She did extremely well, and her team got extremely far. And yeah, I got to meet her through that as well as some of the other G4 members. So Gina, thank you so much for joining me. Some of my community members, because you are not a Lost Ark player, they might not know who you are. Could you kind of tell me a little bit about yourself and where we can find you?
Sure. Hi, I'm GinaDarling. I am host of G4 TV's Attack of the Show. I've been a streamer for about 4 years maybe. But you guys have probably seen me in the last over a decade on YouTube, all over YouTube, on Instagram and stuff. I've been a creature of the internet for a long time. I am not a Lost Ark player. I was asked by Ovly to join the Lost Ark competition, the invitational, because we had someone drop out, and she's like, I need you to do me a favor. So 2 days before the tournament, she called me up, and I never say no to Ovly. So I joined, and literally the night before the invitational, I Googled what is Lost Ark. And then I Googled how to download Lost Ark, and that was the first MMO I've ever played. And I was crying and kicking and screaming the whole entire time, but I didn't come in last, surprisingly. But that's mostly because my teammates were incredible.
Yes, yes, they were. Nico's a good friend of mine. I was really glad to see him do what he did. So hold on, time. You had to Google how to download Lost Ark.
Yeah. Okay. So I play shooters. I'm a big fan of shooters, and I played that my whole entire life. So I usually stream a variety of games, but I mainly focus on shooters like Apex, Warzone when it wasn't absolutely run with cheaters, Overwatch before that, PUBG before that, and learning Valorant. So this was my first MMO. I had no idea what I was doing, but I liked it because there was a lot of pretty lights and colors because I was playing the Sorceress.
Sorceress that's a good class. So, Gina, just so you know, there's no structure to this podcast. Like I said, it's a free talk thing. If you have anything that you want to say or share, whether it's with me or the chat, and that the whole reason why I have this overlay and have the chat in the middle is because I want chat to feel like they are part of this conversation. So just whatever. It's just free talk. So with that said, I have to ask you something because someone linked me something during my stream, and I was talking to my stream about, hey, what are some decent talking points? I don't know, points of discussion. Tell me what you know about Gina. And someone linked me this clip. And hold on, maybe I could actually pull it up and play it. Chat, do you have that clip? I'd actually like to play the clip for the purpose of YouTube.
Couple things. One, I see someone in chat saying, wait, G4, the old G4? Yes, we're back. We relaunched the official G4, Attack of the Show, X-Play, all that. And two, the fact that you said that you were linked something and I have 1,000 different things in my head of what it could be kind of makes me have to sit there and wonder what I'm doing as a person, myself, what's going on here, because there's so many that can be pulled up and wondering which one is so serious.
Oh my gosh, I wish I didn't X out of this. Who was in the chat that linked it? It was a clip. Oh, come on, chat. You gotta link it to me. Hold on. I gotta pull this up because I think it's better if we show it.
Sure.
And then you can react to it.
By the way, while you're looking for that, chat, after I did my exiting interview, for the Lost Ark tournament, it immediately went to a commercial of Kanon saying, "Hi, my name is Kanon, and here's how to play the sorceress properly." I was like, all right, that was shady. Why'd you guys run that ad directly after I lost as a sorceress? It's fine. You know what? Whatever, man. Like, that was a personal attack, but I'll let it slide this time because one, it's my first time meeting you, and two, you live in Korea, and it would be very expensive to fly over there and punch you in the throat.
Oh, wow. In the throat. Wow. Not in the face, but the actual throat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. Sorry, I apologize, but I didn't actually catch, like, I'm a little bit confused because I didn't actually catch the first part of that sentence because I was pulling this clip up and I just heard "fly over to Korea and punch you in the throat." I'm like, what?
It was after my exit interview for the invitational, and it went like, "Okay, bye, thank you, Gina," and it went directly to a commercial of you saying, "Hi, my name is Kanon XO, and this is how you play the sorceress properly." I'm like, all right.
Oh, right.
Okay.
that had nothing to do with me. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna pull this up right now, and you can see this. All right.
Okay.
I have to ask you about this. So here we go.
Okay.
All right. Oh, hold on. Let's.
Oh, this is recent. I just started playing Fortnite again. What happened here? Okay, so where are we at this whole like eating human flesh thing? Because, like I said, if I had a chance, I'm hearing no audio. One second, I'm not hearing any audio. Right? Would you guys eat human flesh?
You're the only one here.
You're not hearing the audio?
No, but I'll play it on.
Okay, yeah, you play it on yours. Yeah. Okay. I'll play it again on my thing.
Let's see. What did I say? Okay, so where are we at this whole like eating human flesh thing? Because, like I said, if I had a chance, I would eat human flesh. Right? Would you guys eat human flesh?
You're the only one here.
Nah.
Like if I knew it was human flesh?
You would eat it if you didn't know?
G4 just raided me.
I mean, like...
People here.
Welcome back. Hello, everybody.
Great timing, by the way. So, please, we need to talk about this. Please.
I can explain.
Please.
So, I swear to God, I always say the worst things right when I get big raids. Oh my God. I am a very adventurous eater. I've eaten many crazy things. At G4, I consider myself, if you guys are Jackass fans, the Steve-O of G4. I have bled and vomited for G4 multiple times.
Wow.
I'm not afraid of eating like crazy things. I've eaten I've eaten worms, I've eaten spiders, I've eaten my first initiation at G4, I took 4 shots of hot sauce. I can eat all the smelly foods. I can eat anything. So I am not afraid. And I have said this many times in the past that if I had a chance to try ethically sourced human flesh, I would like to try it, just a little piece. And I would try it in its purest form, like not like in a stew or something. I want to grill that with a little bit of salt because I am curious to know what it would taste like. And I think it's insane that people are not curious about it because, like, you know, like, don't you wonder just a little bit? Just a little bit. Aren't you a little bit curious?
Hold on, time out. There's so many things. Hold on. First of all, there's an initiation requirement for G4 where you have to consume hot sauce. Well,
no, it wasn't. But before G4 officially launched on television, we had like a beach house. A beach house that wasn't really a beach house, but we streamed every week from this other area, and we had like a giant obstacle course tournament that you can find on our G4 channel, where we had to go through like crazy obstacle courses, one of which was every time you answer a trivia question about gaming, you have to take a shot of hot sauce, and I did 4 shots of hot sauce, and it was immediate vomit because even though I'm Asian, I don't like spicy food. So it was 4 shots and then run through the obstacle course, and I left my puke all over that parking lot that day. And that was when I solidified my spot in G4. Like, they can't get rid of me now. I also bled for G4 like 30 seconds after that because we were popping balloons and my finger accidentally hit one of the needles. So I was bleeding and vomiting. It was great. My bodily fluids are all over that office.
Oh man. Oh my God. And you had worms? Like I can actually understand spiders, but you actually had worms?
Yeah, I used to travel a lot in Japan. I ended up at this local bar, and in that bar, they had a bottle of mezcal, and whoever takes the last shot from that bottle, there is a mealworm that's in that bottle. And so I took the last shot and I ate it.
Wow.
Hmm.
Okay, hold on. All right, back to the eating human meat part. So you've actually thought about how you would actually eat the meat, like with salt and some sauce, maybe some A1 on there, like
No.
what?
Just purely just a little bit of salt, grilled like Korean barbecue, just a little bit of salt.
Korean barbecue.
And
So you
that's
want to
it.
eat a Korean?
Well, I mean, it depends. You know,
So
'cause
you want to eat a Korean?
well, okay, here, let me ask you a question.
We
Do
might
you
have
work
to
out
end this.
often?
We might have to end this podcast.
All right, let me figure this out first.
Okay. Oh
Do
my
you work
God.
out a lot?
Korean barbecue. Do I work out a lot? I've been
Yeah.
recently starting to get back into the gym. I used to work out all the time, but like for the past probably 2 years, I haven't been working out. No.
Okay. That's gonna make your meat a little bit
Less
tough and chewy. Yeah.
What?
Do you drink a lot?
Not really. No.
Okay, so you don't count as like Wagyu. Okay, I mean like you.
Are you trying to figure out what I would taste like right now?
Uh-huh.
Don't look at me like that. Don't look at me like that. Oh my gosh.
You know, like there's like the really expensive beef where they just feed it beer and they massage it all the time, so it's nice and tender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that what you would want to do? Oh my God. Yo, if I ever go to Los Angeles and meet up with with Gina, and she's all of a sudden out of the blue asking me, "Hey, would you like a massage?" I'm gonna
That's
freak
how I
out.
get them. I tell guys like, "Would you like a massage?" They're like, "Ooh, she's trying to hit on me." I'm like, "No, I'm going to."
I'm going to fucking eat you.
Hey, Gentle Giant is in the chat. That's the guy that's like really scary that I was playing against.
Yeah, he was playing the War Dancer. He was popping off in
Yeah.
that War Dancer. Yeah.
Terrifying. Hi.
You remember you remember your opponents. Wow.
I remember all my enemies.
Remember all my enemies. Hold on, Gina, how did you get into how did you start working with G4? Because I mean, obviously you have a very, you know, like your personality, it's I mean, just based off of like what the 10 minutes that we've been talking, plus what I've seen, you know, during the broadcast, like you are definitely suited for TV, 100%. You've got that, you have that personality. Like how did you get started? What's your story with G4?
Sure. I started with G4. It was, I believe, 2020. Towards the latter end of 2020, where I got an email from a casting director saying, "Hey, G4 wants to interview you for their network. They're looking for new hosts." And I had actually ignored that email because, being a huge fan of G4 as a child, I knew that G4 was gone, so I ignored that email. I was like, "Oh, this is a scam. Fuck it, whatever, dude." And then 2 days later, they emailed me again, like saying, "Hey, you know, following up on this, G4 really wants to meet you." I'm like, "This is fucking bullshit." So I almost really missed out on this whole entire crazy train. Yeah.
What was the email from? I mean, didn't it say like at g4tv.com or something like that? Like,
No, this was a third-party
like
casting agent.
Some sketch Hotmail fucking email.
Yeah, right? It was like a random casting agent. And I get like emails from casting agents. Like, I mean, I live in LA, I work in entertainment, so you get it a lot. So I thought this was definitely a scam because G4 was long gone and it was a beautiful memory. But one night, like 2 a.m, I'm like, "Okay, fine, whatever." And I respond, I'm like, "Sure, let's do this interview." And this was during pandemic, so it was all via Zoom. So they set up a Zoom call. I showed up to a Zoom call and there was like 3 other people there. And one of them said, "My name is so-and-so. I used to work at the old G4. And so I was like, "Okay." And then I, off the side of the phone, I Googled his name, G4, and it was real, like executive of G4. And I immediately started panicking. I wasn't wearing pants. Like I had upper half, awesome. Business. I call it my mullet outfit. Like business on top, party on the bottom. So
Okay.
I look decent up top, but I was wearing pants underneath. I was like, oh
You were
fuck.
what were you? Were you just in your underwear?
I think I had like my pajama shorts. I had like Gudetama shorts on.
Okay, I was just sorry. I was just trying to visualize it mentally. Yeah, go ahead.
Calm down.
I'm just a visual learner. That's all.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to.
got it.
Yeah, it's immersive.
Got it.
It's immersive. Yeah.
So when I looked it up and I saw that it was legit, I started sweating immediately. Like, oh fuck, this is legit. And they're like, we're relaunching G4. We've kept it quiet. They've worked on it for the last like couple years or so. And I started Googling all the other names, and there were all the executives and producers. I was like, oh, holy shit. Oh my God, this is real. And then so they were like, okay, you know, we just want to get to know you. This was a 4 or 5 month long process because they won't like inform you on if you moved on to the next part until like a month or so later.
Wow.
Yeah. So after every interview, I'm like, oh God, I'm fucked. And then the last and final one was, we want you to film yourself doing a video game review of whatever the hell you want, and then film yourself shooting a skit or whatever you want. And I had like 4 days to do it. I had no idea what to do. I asked my chat for suggestions, and I just wasn't in love with any of them. And then at around 4 a.m. the morning that I was supposed to send it in, I came up with a couple ideas, filmed it, shot it, sent it in, and just hoped for the best. It was the dumbest videos I've ever done.
What was it?
So because of like our privacy issues or our privacy stuff or whatever, I can't show you the videos, but I can tell you that the video game review that I decided to do was video games based on the top video games based on which protagonist I want to rail me.
Okay. Who were those protagonists, by the way?
I believe I said Kratos from God of War because, quote, I feel like he can crush my esophagus with just 2 fingers.
So you like Bajira, okay?
Wait, wasn't that one of our competitors?
Yeah, Kratos.
Oh,
he's the IRL Kratos.
Huh?
He's Kratos in real life.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh shit. Okay.
They based that video game character off of him.
Are you serious, or are you just shitting me right now? Is he because he's ginormous?
Because he's a Chad.
Oh,
Yeah.
I have a story about Kratos to one up that in a second. Remind me.
Okay.
The second one was Sephiroth, which I know is not a protagonist, but the thing is, he can do whatever he wants to me, and I'm assuming that if he has a long sword, then he also has a long. And then I cut off the video there, so I wouldn't get TOS.
Yeah, but it's a thin sword.
Yeah, well, you know,
Is that your thing? Like you like long swords, but thin? Like
yeah,
just,
it doesn't have to be
yeah, really?
curvy out.
I feel like you know most women like that Buster sword. You know, this is like it's big and thick.
That's
you
true.
know?
That's true.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
But I got a thing for like silver-haired dudes.
Oh,
2D
okay.
guys. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
like,
that's fair.
That's why I have this little Tengen figurine here from Demon Slayer.
Okay.
And then I think I said Pac-Man because I'm into older men, and I heard that if he eats a lot of fruit, then it tastes like, and then I cut it there. It was a very horny video that I sent in, and I kind of sent it in like, oh God, these guys are probably gonna block me off everything, but it worked.
That's actually genius. I think like that's actually genius. Showing off your personality. Wow, that's fantastic. Hold on. So you were streaming though. Like you just mentioned that you were asking your chat about what you should do. So how far along have you were you into your content creating like on Twitch or whatever it was?
Sure. I've been on the internet making content for like 12 years. Mm-hmm. On and off YouTube, you know, Instagram, every social platform you can think of. I started streaming probably 2017 because I was gaming with my friends every night. Like gaming was my constant thing my whole life. So they were like, why don't you just stream? Like you're on with us every night. And I was like, I don't know. I've never done live things before and I wouldn't know where to start. So with the help of them, we built like this Frankenstein PC and I started streaming, and I was so nervous that no one would show up. But right off the bat, my first stream, right when I hit start stream, I had like 500 viewers.
Your
And
first stream?
Yeah.
How did that work?
That's because I've already built my audience for like the last, at this point, what,
Okay.
8, 9, 10 years, you know?
Right.
And I had announced all over already, like, hey, I'm going to start streaming. Today's the day. I made, graphics for it and everything. And my viewers, my fans really did, show up for me, and it made me so happy.
That's awesome.
And I remember my first donation I got, and I cried. Like, I cried. I was so nervous. I didn't think anyone would show up. In fact, a couple of my moderators are in here right now. You can tell which ones they are. They're the ones that usually pick on me.
The one that says, "Hi, Gina, big fan."
Yeah, that's one of my big main moderators. The one right below him is Kevin. Also, he's my moderator / my lawyer.
Okay. Oh, your lawyer's in here. Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't know it yet, but he's my lawyer.
Oh, he doesn't know it yet. Gotcha. Does he have silver hair, long silver hair, or no?
No,
okay.
no. I pick on. No, I'm sorry. I am so good to my moderators. I treat them very well, and they will tell you that themselves. That I treat them very well, and they're so happy to moderate for me, right, mods?
I don't like all I'm thinking about is the fact that Korean barbecue has a completely different meaning now.
Yeah.
Completely different meaning.
So watch your back whenever you come to LA.
Oh yeah, I definitely will. I definitely will. So hold on. So you were doing content on YouTube before Twitch then, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Like you were building up that YouTube. How did you get into YouTube then? Like I would love to actually hear the grassroots of your journey to content creating when you were like literally at ground zero. Like tell me about that story.
So it started from when I was about 17 years old, actually. I had always wanted to be a model when I was younger. So when I was 17 years old, I entered a beauty pageant without telling my family.
Okay.
Which was very strange because in high school I was a goth kid. But that summer before senior year, I really wanted to do something different. So I entered a beauty pageant.
As a goth kid?
Yeah. It was.
So
yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
And I didn't tell my family that I qualified until I got past preliminaries. They're like, yeah, we want you in. And I was like, oh shit. Okay. And I ended up getting second runner-up somehow in like 100 and something contestants. And this is like 17 years old, didn't know how to do my makeup. I had to hire someone to do it. And that's when I started modeling. Modeling led to, I started go-go dancing. Go-go dancing led to me dancing at like some of the biggest stages in the world for Insomniac events, which was EDC and Nocturnal and all that stuff. Go-go dancing led to more modeling, and then also led to fire dancing. So I can eat fire, I can spin fire, I can spit fire.
Wow.
So I started taking like circus classes. I was walking on stilts and stuff, but still modeling but also still gaming at night. Like that's
Wow.
what I love doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started meeting YouTubers, and they were like, hey, we need someone to play this part in this YouTube, whatever. And that's when I met my friends over at Just Kidding Films. Just Kidding Films was a very prominent Asian YouTube channel back then. And so I started working with them, and they're like, you should start your own channel. I'm like, okay, sure. I don't really know what to do. So I started a channel. I just didn't know what to do. It sat there empty. And then I ended up meeting people at Machinima. I don't know if there's anyone in here that's old enough to know what Machinima is, but it was
no idea what Machinima is. And I'm pretty old.
Machinima was a huge gaming network on YouTube for a long time. They had Red versus Blue. And they were also like a YouTube MCN. They paid channels to be part of their network. And I went to go hang out at their
Machinima. Okay. I like as it was typed out, I could okay. I recognize that name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So,
Yeah.
I was a part of Machinima Respawn because I used to play with a Call of Duty team called the Hidden Masters. That's where like a bunch of big YouTubers came from, and they brought me in just to hang out. And I overheard someone speaking that they needed someone that was like an expert that loved Borderlands because Borderlands 2 is coming out. And I was like, hey, I love Borderlands. And they're like, oh, do you think you can make videos? I was like, yeah, I think I can. And so they were like, oh, you should be, we should partner your channel. And this guy talked, well, this guy that was, we were sitting to the partnerships manager and another guy, and this guy's like, oh, but she doesn't really have like any subs or anything. But then the partnerships guy was like, fuck it, just sign her, it's fine. I stupidly should not have signed a contract right off the bat without reading it, but I signed it, got my channel partnered with no subs at all. And because that channel, the partner manager he trusted me enough. He is now the head of YouTube, or he is now the head of Twitter gaming. Shout out to my boy Rishi. He let me have partnership, and I started making Borderlands content. So if you go early, like my first videos ever, it was all Borderlands content. But then I started working a lot more with like other big comedy channels, Just Kidding Films and all that, and I started growing from there, while also still modeling and managing and doing all this other stuff. And then that led to streaming. Streaming led to G4 heard about someone that is already a personality that also plays video games, and that's when they reached out to me, and that's how
the
this all
story.
happened.
Yeah, how big were you when G4 had reached out to you?
I think I was already in like the thick of it. Like
how many subs on YouTube?
Subs. So here's the thing. I let my YouTube channel die. I was never very consistent with it because I hated the whole like editing process.
Yeah.
So I
did you edit your own videos at first?
No.
No.
At first, yes.
At first,
and I hated it.
Okay.
At first I did, and I hated it. That's why I uploaded like once every like 6 months or so. And then I started hiring. But I haven't uploaded since a year ago, and I'm sitting at 262,000 subscribers.
Wow.
It's a dead channel. I don't touch it. I focus more on streaming now.
Okay, but why not? Like, I mean, if you have an editor that can, maybe cut out highlights or whatever it is, why not continue to try and keep that YouTube channel active?
That's because my YouTube channel is more like vlogging.
Okay.
Not gaming at all. Like I switched over to vlogging completely. And it was just, the vlogging process was difficult for me because whenever things happen, I really wanted to just be in the moment and not like pull out a camera, be like, oh, do it again. Like, let me get this. Like, I just wanted to be a part of what was going on in my life. So I found it really hard to vlog. So I kind of just let the channel die. And I do want to pick it back up and start doing stream clips and probably turn it into like a gaming channel, or just start a whole new gaming channel altogether. Who knows? But I'll probably start pulling clips and stuff and uploading it to YouTube instead.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I'm seeing my chat, probably my viewers asking, why not Lost Ark? And I've DM'd you a little bit about it. You don't play Lost Ark. You're an FPS girl. What about Lost Ark did you not like? Is it just because it's not an FPS? Did you like, because you don't like, you didn't really like Lost Ark, right?
No, I think it's because I was thrown into a tournament as my first experience ever in Lost Ark.
And you
my
did
first
well.
Experience ever as an MMO.
That was your first MMO, like period? Like
ever.
MMO? Really?
Ever. Yeah.
Like you never even played like WoW or any of those games? Wow.
I started off as, like when big games start, like shooters coming out, I started off as a Counter-Strike player, Counter-Strike 1.5. So I've always just been a shooter.
1.5, wow.
So it's not my kind of game because it's a lot of remembering items, and I learned about the tripods and so many buttons, and it's just so much, for me. It's like I like to point and just shoot things.
Okay.
And then like all the like leveling this skill, and like if you level to 7 then you get 3 on the tripod thing. It's just like, this is a lot for me.
Okay.
But I kind of got the hang of it because while we were scrimming, I did pretty well. And Pablo Abe came into my chat. He's like, I heard that this is your first time. Is that true? I'm like, yeah. He goes, dude, you're a fucking prodigy. I'm like, thank you. He's like, what the fuck? And then I was like, look, it's beginner's luck, man. Like, I have moments where I do really well and it never happens again. So I get lucky sometimes, but the MMOs are just a little bit too much for me and too many buttons.
Okay. So like, so the big appeal with MMOs usually is just like the progression part, right? I mean, obviously you're just thrown into the thick of things, like with the arena PvP, but usually, you know, it's like that long-term progression where you have your own character and you build your own character and you're slowly strengthening that character so that that character is better, you know, just gets stronger and stronger. That's pretty much what the appeal is with MMOs for the most part. Is that something that doesn't really appeal to you because you're not really interested in that long-term prog type of thing?
Grind.
Yeah.
Personally, as a person in real life, I would like to believe that I'm a very patient person. But in games, I really hate grinding. I hate farming. I just can't do it.
Okay.
Can't do it.
So FPS. All right. So let's talk a little bit about your FPS career then. Okay. Because I actually played some FPS games back in the day too. I was originally an FPS player until I started to transition into the MMORPG scene. And I just really enjoyed the whole progression and having my own character. And there was like, you know, MMOs that have PvP, there's like that competitive play as well. So like it was like a balance of PvP and competition, which is what you get in FPS, plus like progression. That really stood out to me. But I did play FPS games back in the day. Now, I don't know. I actually don't know. I probably should have done my research, but I don't know how old you are. So I don't know. I mean, the fact that you said you played 1.5 tells me that you were playing some video games back in the day, you know? So I'm kind of putting that together. But my first FPS game that I played was
What do you think?
Your age? Like after
if I aged myself with the 1.5.
With the 1.5? Oh man, 1.5. I like honestly, I would have. I see. Here's the thing: you don't look that old. Even I've, you know, like I could, like I'm Asian, so like, you know, Asian faces. Everyone, you know, white people say Asians look young, right? But like I have the Asian eyes, so I can tell. And even then, you look pretty young. So it's like, but if you say you play 1.5, you have to be somewhat near my age. You just have to be. So it's like I would have to say 1.5. That's old though. Or I would say mid to that's there's no way you're that old though. Mid to early 30s.
I'm 32.
32. Okay, so very close to my age. Very close. Don't say rip Kanon be missed. She wants to eat me already. Okay, so it's fair game. Okay, chat. Okay, she's talking about Korean barbecue and not that kind of Korean barbecue. Literally me on a platter. Okay. Yeah. So like 1.5, right? Because like I started playing Counter-Strike. I tried a little bit of 1.6, but I played more Counter-Strike Source. I started getting into Counter-Strike when Source came out. And before that, I played vanilla Call of Duty, like literally Call of Duty, the original one that came out. I played a lot of that. And the FPS I played before that was a game called Soldier of Fortune 2. Like this was like way back. Probably like the whole 1.5 scene. So yeah, like I used to play those games and then I turned it to, you know, in an MMO player. But back in the day, they had like those leagues, right? Like, do you remember something called Cal League? Yes!
Yes. Absolutely.
What were you in Counter-Strike?
I don't think I ever played to get to that point. At that point when I was playing, I was like 12, 13, 14 years old. But yeah, the old Cal leagues, I remember that.
Oh, gee. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So I played 1.5 and 1.6, but unlike you, when Source came out, I was like, this is weird, and I stopped playing.
Really? Why?
It was too different. I remember it being so different. I'm like, this is weird. Like, this is back when I almost failed freshman year because I spent so much time in the PC bangs.
Wait, PC bangs? What do you mean PC bangs? Like
the PC cafes?
LAN centers?
In the
States?
Yeah.
What state were you from?
I'm born and raised in California
Oh,
my
really?
whole life.
And that was a thing back then? Like those
Oh, yeah.
LAN centers? Really?
Absolutely. In fact, if there's anyone here in the chat from San Jose, they know exactly which one I'm talking about. It was Cyberhunt at the Great Mall. But internet
Wow.
cafes were very, very big back then. And my friend actually used to own one where he would just throw hundreds of hours on my account. And I almost failed high school or freshman year
Really?
because I would skip class and go play.
Like, and you just play like regular like for me, I was completely addicted to first person shooters because of the competitive aspect. Like with the whole Cal League, that I was like, oh my god, all I did was go home. When I would go home, all I would do is scrim with my team and then get ready for the league. And then when the league was live, it would be like one match a week, or it depends on what league you're in, or what division you're in, but like 1 to 2 matches a week. And, you know, if you make it to the playoffs, they had like the shoutcasting stuff. And back in the day, they didn't have like video shoutcasting. It was just like radio shoutcasting.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
was
and
so
I
fun,
spoke
yeah.
to you after the Lost Ark tourney, and you told me that you don't do casting. That was your
Oh,
first time where you
no.
just don't do it,
No. That was my first time casting, yeah.
which it blew me away because I thought he was a pro commentator, and that's why Ollie brought him in. I swear to God, completely blew my mind. I know that Captain Flowers, that was his first time casting a Lost Ark
Yeah.
tourney. Also, that was that honestly, like cannibalism aside, you know.
She's
I
getting
thought
ready
you-
to
I-
massage, man. This is the lead up to the massage. I can't believe it.
But no, honestly, I thought you were remarkable. That was very, very impressive.
Oh my gosh. Thank you. I appreciate it. But first of all, Captain Flowers, that man is the fucking GOAT. Like, he is so good. And what I was telling my chat about Captain Flowers is he was extremely impressive, obviously on camera, but he was even more impressive off camera. Like, getting to know him and talking to him and having him kind of guide me as some, like, literally I had a 1-hour conversation with him before, and I told him straight up, I was like, hey, look, like I am not comfortable as a lead caster. I talked to Ovly and he already heard about it. I was like, this is the first time I'm casting, and, you know, like, I'm happy to share my knowledge, and if you ask me questions, whatever, but like, this is not my thing and I'm not very good at it. Especially, and the people that are close to me also know that, like, when I'm doing something, like if I'm watching the arena game, like if I'm actually watching what's happening, like, I'm not a very good multitasker. So it's like, for me to like say things out loud while I'm trying to actually focus on what's actually happening and track all these skills and everything, it's like very difficult. It is very difficult for me. So I told him that, and he was just super, helpful and just walking me through, and I definitely couldn't have done what I did without him. And he is so good. Like, he just makes everything so exciting. The fact that he knew nothing about the game, and then number one, was able to cast the way he did, and then number two, in that hour that I was kind of walking him through, like, as far as like how the game is played with the POV and the maps and all that stuff, he picked it up so quick, and he was like casting and talking about it with positioning and stuff. I was like, this guy, to the point where like people were really surprised that he'd never actually played the game before. Like, the man is he's just very talented, very talented. He definitely carried it. Absolutely.
Flowers is a savant. I gotta say, like, that
He's
man,
so good. Yeah.
he is incredible at what he does. So in all my years of entertainment and gaming, I truly believe that some of the most incredible people in the whole entire world are people who can just speak so well and so eloquently, right off the top of their head by just watching what's going on. So sportscasters, gamecasters, freestyle battle rappers. I think it is the most incredible thing ever. I have a bunch of friends who do cast, and I think it is it's the thing that I wish that I can do, because I can never. Like, if I can be playing a game since like launch, I could even have developed
You're pretty
the game.
good at that, though. Like, you're very well spoken.
Thank you.
You are, absolutely. And I'm not even just trying to say that to get on your good side so that you won't eat me. Like, you are legitimately very well spoken.
Thank
you.
you.
Like 100%.
I do it in a different setting. Like I can do improv, I can do comedy improv. That's fine. But when it comes to informational stuff and having to describe everything that's going on screen, especially in a competitive space that's where everything's happening so fast, I think it is absolutely incredible that you guys can do that, especially for you and Flowers, for people who have never casted Lost Ark before. It was very, very remarkable and very impressive.
Yeah, I don't like, for me personally, it was like, I think like all the in between the round stuff was pretty easy for me because it was just like, you know, Flowers is literally asking me a question and, you know, it's relative to the game. I'm pretty well versed in PvP and Lost Ark. I'm very confident in my knowledge within the game of Lost Ark PvP wise. So that was easy. But like in the game, I remember he was casting it. I was like, man, he's killing it. He's doing. And then as he's casting, like he kind of stops. Right, like he's like he was casting. He was going off, and then he stopped, and like I got the hint that he was tossing it to me now to like give some input, and I was like, oh shit, here we go. I was like, all right, let's see what we can do, and I was like, and then I tried to cast it, and I guess I got better over time, maybe not so much in the beginning, but I don't know, it's difficult for me. Like I stumble on my words quite a bit, as my chat knows. I'm just not the best like live action shout caster caller, you know. Like I have done like events where I hosted events like tournaments and stuff for other games, but I would always bring in shoutcasters, right? Like I would bring in people that were good at it, and then I would just kind of be like, I would essentially do what like Ovely did. Like I think I would be way more comfortable doing what Ovely was doing rather than what Captain Flowers is doing. But I definitely learned a lot from that experience. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
I couldn't tell. After I got eliminated, I watched for a little bit, and I was watching how you and Flowers worked together, and I think you picked up on those cues very well. It was, like I said, you look like you've been doing it for a long time.
Oh man, well thank you. I appreciate it. You're still not going to get me to go to a massage, but I appreciate it.
Nothing a few drugs and injections.
Oh my gosh, this girl is scary, man. This girl is scary. So that day, I remember like at the end of the tournament, like for me, like I was just starting my day, but like I guess in the West Coast, you know, it was pretty much over. And Ovely was talking about going to K-Town and getting, you know, having some soju. Do you hang out with the G4 team quite often? Like, do you guys go out and have some drinks? Because you look like someone that is, you know, well, you told me you don't really go out that much. Kind of hard to believe. I feel like you'd be a social butterfly, you know, always be leading the charge after like a filming session and go out and have drinks and soju bombs and all that good stuff. No?
Oh no, I'm a massive recluse. I have started to go out more because of G4, because I never want to miss out on hanging out with the cast and crew, because I really do love them. Ovely is the one that leads that whole thing. She's always like, hey, we're out. Oh yeah, Ovely. The only times that I really go out to K-Town is because of Ovely. But for me, I'm quite the opposite, because like I said earlier in my life, I go-go danced. So I was at nightclubs every weekend. I was at raves dancing and working every weekend.
Yeah.
So, and the thing is, I never even drank during my 20s. I only started learning how to drink during the pandemic, during lockdown, because I was streaming and I was streaming and I had nothing to do. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna learn. And
were you just like against alcohol or something, or
I never really cared for it and never cared for the taste, but also I didn't want it to hinder my work when I was go-go dancing. So it was just never a thing for me. So my 20s were spent pretty much sober, and it wasn't until pandemic that I started learning how to drink, and I learned how to drink two things: soju and vodka, and that's it.
Soju and vodka.
Mm-hmm.
Soju and vodka. I mean, that's pretty. You don't like dark liquor?
No, the smell of dark liquor makes me want to die. I used to be, when I was young, I was a cocktail waitress, and even serving it was disgusting for me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How much is soju out there? Like a bottle of soju?
Couldn't tell you. I have no idea.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus, you really are. Okay, let me ask you this. What kind of drunk is Ovely?
Ovely is a funny. Just Ovely is exactly the way Ovely is normally. While
Really?
drunk, just more lovey. I called her after the tournament when she was drunk in K-Town. I called her to tell her she did a great job and very like I was so proud of her. And she, what did she say to me? Right. Let me see. Gina, I love you. I want to tell you, I love you so. You have no idea. I have never eaten vagina before, but I love you so much that I would eat your pussy. And I was like, oh, thank you, Ovely. She's like, I swear to God, I have never. But for you, anything, because I just love you so. Thank you so much for doing the tournament. If you, I will totally do that for you, Gina. I will learn how to eat pussy for you. And I was like, thank you, Ovely. That's so kind of you. Thank you.
Pangie, that's the intro, by the way.
There you go.
That's the intro. I'm gonna go ahead and mark this right now. Oh, I can't mark. We're 5 hours and 47 minutes into the stream. Pangie, that's gonna be the intro. I want to hang out with Ovely now. Like I feel like drunk Kanon will get along very well with drunk Ovely, because I'm pretty similar to Ovely when I get drunk. I'm very much like I saw that in chat earlier. Lovely. Like I'm very like I love you, bro. Kind of drunk too.
That's really cute.
Oh my
I get
gosh.
very. So I actually got absolutely obliterated drunk by accident on Saturday.
This past Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me more.
We went to a Norabang and we went to go karaoke in K-Town, and it was two groups of friends meeting each other. My best friend moderators and my best friend from high school meeting each other for the first time, even though they've seen each other on stream and talked to each other on in game and stuff.
And you're like that middle ground.
So we went to a karaoke spot, and somehow it became 2 shots after each song. Yeah, like 2 shots.
2 shots of
like
what? Soju?
Soju, like the blue soju.
Okay.
After each song.
Yeah.
We started at 9 p.m. and I got absolutely obliterated. And I realized that when I drink, I get very, very shy. And
really?
Yes. So as we were leaving so in this building is the karaoke spot, but there was also a Jimjibang, a Korean 24-hour spa.
Oh my gosh.
Which was genius. Genius, right? So I learned that I got really shy because when I was leaving the karaoke spot, the employee that held the door open was like, hey, thanks for coming. Also, by the way, Gina, I'm a huge fan. And I looked at him like, oh my God, thank you. I'm so sorry you have to see me this way. And then I just like covered my face and I ran out. And while running out, I heard someone, like another group of people saying, oh, damn, that's GinaDarling. And I was like, no. And I ran and I hid behind my, like, a car. And my friend's like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, these people just saw me drunk. Like I told you, I'm new to drinking. So not a lot of people have seen me, like, drunk. And so the next morning, then I didn't want to go home. So, like, a few of us went to the Jimjibang. But I was the only girl. So I was the only girl on the women's side.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, laying there in the cold tub, just like, oh God, I'm so drunk. But the next morning, I was in the group chat and I was like, oh God, did I make an absolute ass of myself? And my friends were like, Gina, you literally did nothing wrong. Like, you look very sober when you're drunk, because I try really hard to look very sober.
Really?
And apparently I'm really good at it. Like the first time I ever got like really, really shit-faced drunk, the first, second, and third time I ever got like super randomly drunk was somewhere in the decade of my 20s. So it was very far and few in between, but I'm really good at acting like I'm very sober. But I just get really shy.
So people can't tell
They can't
you're
tell.
drunk. Really?
Yeah.
Or do you think that?
No, like I've had multiple people tell me like, oh hey, like I took a picture of us together, look at this picture last night. I was like, I don't remember that. I was completely like gone. They're like, really? Because I carried a full conversation with you and you look very I'm posing in this picture. So I'm really good at it. but I'm also like dying inside because I'm afraid that people can tell and I get really embarrassed.
This is like, so you're trying to tell me that you are a shy drunk.
Yeah.
And you are a controlling meaning like you're controlling your emotions and kind of controlling yourself to not come across as drunk. Like that is the time, and you're completely new to even being drunk is what you're telling me.
Yes, it's because I operate on pride and rage.
Pride and
So,
rage. Okay.
Yeah. That's how it's gotten me this far. So I cannot let myself embarrass myself in public while drunk. In fact, one of my biggest pet peeves and deal breakers are bad drunks.
Oh.
If you're like the belligerent, vomiting in public, fighting people, screaming, yelling, embarrassing drunk, I do not like being around you. I have like stopped hanging out with people like that. I don't like it, and so I refuse to ever be that way.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, and people definitely have their own personalities when they get drunk, for sure. Yeah, there are definitely people that get belligerent when they're drunk, and it's just every time you go out with them, it's like they're trying to fight somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even with guys that I like am dating or getting to know, if I ever see that, you're cut immediately.
Immediately?
I don't like putting up with that. Yeah.
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
Okay, so turn offs.
Wait, so hold on. Hold on to that thought. One of your mods says, bro, you came into the voice chat the other day telling us your love story about how you love this chick you met one time. Who did you meet one time? I want to hear that story.
Hold on. Who says this? I've missed that in chat. Who is
Wald?
this? Waldo?
Waldo?
Your love story. Well, first of all, Waldo, his name is Eugene. And
Is he Korean?
Eugene, no, he's not. He tells people he's Asian, but we're convinced he's not. And you just never trust that guy. You never trust. You can't trust this guy.
Okay. Hi, Waldo. I want to hear the story. Who did you meet one time?
I don't know what he's talking. What is he talking about specifically? What are you talking about specifically, Waldo? Because I talk about.
Hi, Anak. How are you doing today? Oh, putangin mo. Hi.
So you speak Filipino too. I'm not Eugene. Not again. You see? Exactly.
So, Waldo, come here. Let me tell me the story.
Okay, so Waldo needs to be a little bit more specific because not only do I tell this stuff to Waldo, but I'm pretty open about my love life and relationship, which is non-existent, by the way. As of late, it's very much non-existent. So if I meet someone, or if I find myself attracted to someone, like sometimes I'll share those stories or those happenings on stream, right? And Waldo, I don't know what Waldo is specifically referring to. I don't know, because I've talked about a couple of different girls on my stream before, like my ex, and all that, whatever it may be. So I don't know what specifically he's referring to. Waldo, you're gonna have to be a little bit more specific here. I'm happy to share though. I'm happy to share deets. I don't know what specifically he's talking about. Yeah.
Well, we'll get that story later.
Okay.
But what we're talking.
Well, I was gonna follow that up because you obviously that's a no-go. You're talking about like being a bad drunk is a no-go for you. What are other no-goes for you?
Let's see. What do I not like? If a guy ever baby talks to me, you're out.
What do you mean baby talks to you?
Like, if I'm tired and he goes, "Oh, are you tired?" I'm like, "Get the fuck out of my house right now."
What? People do that? What do you mean? Hold on. Time out. Like, literally, he will talk to you as if you're a baby and like kind of butcher his words, or
yeah, like how you would talk to a dog. Like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like, what the? Why are you speaking? Like, listen, in a relationship, I will tell you guys right now, I'm baby. As I am baby. Like what I'm showing to you guys now on camera, this person that wants to eat people, is loud, is kind of brash, is kind of whatever. In a relationship, I am the total opposite. I am a baby. I am at home, I'm in fluffy socks and bunny ears all day, and I am like a fucking child. I curled up on the couch playing video games. I'm a giant baby. Carry me to bed, please. But in real life, like what you guys see here is totally different. But if I were to date a guy and he did that to me, I'm like, what the? Because I like very dominant men, like like the traditional Asian manly man, you know?
Right. That's what you like.
Yeah. So when they're baby talking me, it's like, hold on, wait, no, this is not the dynamic that I want. Calm down, bring it back. Like, go build a house or something. I don't know, you know?
Go build a house or something. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I'm still trying to understand. Like, there are actually guys that speak to their girlfriends that way.
Yeah.
I've been living in Asia for far too long.
Yeah.
Like, what
It's
was?
very. I
Uh-huh.
like traditional, like Asian tradition, like traditional guys, because that's how I was raised.
My chat saying I'm out. What the fuck do you guys mean I'm out? I don't do that shit. What the fuck are you talking? I'm out. Get the fuck out of here, chat. Oh my gosh. Okay, so don't talk to Gina like she's a baby. All right. Don't be a bad drunk. What else do you got?
Yes. Bad drivers.
Bad drivers. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's very inconsiderate. This falls into the whole like inconsideration thing. I don't like inconsiderate people, so I don't like bad drivers. If I, as a driver in LA and as a person who grew up in like the automotive scene and worked in the automotive scene, the race scene, I love cars. I love driving fast. I love the drift scene. Drift scene, we drive violently. But if I ever have passengers in my car, I am very considerate. To the point where I have a rule that if I'm driving, as I brake and accelerate, I don't want to see my passenger's head move back and forth. That's how smooth I will drive, and I will brake for you. Yeah, because one, I get carsick very easily. And two, I just think it's very rude when you have someone in the car and you're driving like an asshole, because if I'm sitting in a car and you're driving like an asshole, fuck you, kill your side, bitch. Don't kill me. You know, like, I'm not here to die. Like, I didn't sign up for this. I am your responsibility now. Don't be a dick. So I dated a guy once that was such a shit driver that I did 99.99999% of the driving, which makes me feel like I'm the man in the relationship. Why am I driving one hand with my hand on your thigh? You know, like, why am I doing that? You know?
Alpha male. Gina's actually an alpha male, chat.
And I don't want to be. I don't want to be that. You know, like, I don't want to be that person in a relationship. Look, man, women's rights, feminism, cool. We get to vote, we get to work now. But for me, I don't want to be the male in the relationship. Why did you guys do this? Because now I have to work and pay my own bills, you motherfuckers. I'm kidding. No, but women are great. But
no, women are great. But yeah.
I don't want to be the alpha in the relationship. You know, that's not where I thrive.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So hold on. So you know, you're busting out some of the Korean words earlier. All right, so that tells me, especially that someone, especially like norebang, stuff like that, right? Especially someone that lives in California, LA, where there's obviously a high Korean population. Do you know what aegyo is?
Yes.
Yes. Would you say you have aegyo in a relationship to your man?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, and now is that just strictly for your man, or would you say that it, even not with like, even without like, even not directed to your man, like publicly? Because a lot of Korean girls are like, oh, I have aegyo, but only to my boyfriend. He only sees it.
Right. Oh, sorry. There's one of my viewers in your chat saying, Kanon, can you please explain what that is?
Aegyo. Okay, so, okay. Oh my God, I have to fucking explain this every time. And every time I explain it, I act it out so you guys could see what it is. And then every time my chat will clip it.
I can do it for you.
Oh, can you? I'd love to see it. Okay, so all right, I'd love to see it. So just so you know, aegyo, it's called aegyo, right? It's aegyo. It's essentially a behavior that women have in Korea to it can be used to seduce men, but it's kind of like acting like a baby, kind of like acting like It's difficult to describe because there's no real one word for it in English. Uwu would kind of be it, right? It would be like the common, it would be our version of just uwu, like a girl, like you see in the Japanese animes, right? It's like, I'm pretty sure there's a Japanese word for it too. Yeah, oppa, exactly, oppa. So, okay, so
that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so like oppa is like what girls would call older guys. So like, so Gina is younger than me, right? So in Korea, if we are friends, she would legitimately call me oppa, and there would be no like meaning behind it other than the fact that that's the custom. I'm an older guy, she calls me oppa, right? So whatever. But she could also say and call me oppa kind of like, not seductively where it's like, sexy like that, but she could use it and say it so that like she wants me to know that she likes me or wants me to treat her not like a baby, but like kind of like take care of her or something like that. And so like if she were to call me like as a friend, she'd be like oppa. Like it's just very just like that. It's like so.
But if I was flirting with him, it would be more like 배고파 오빠 밥 사줘.
Yes. Exactly. Oh my god. And the facial expression and everything. Yes. Pouty? Yeah, kind of. Oh my gosh. Well done. So you speak Korean as well as I do, by the way. Like what the hell was that? Like you actually speak good Korean. What is this? How good is your Korean?
You can tell I know like a smattering of a bunch of languages because I really try to learn as much as I can. And you can tell who I learned the languages from depending on what I've learned how to say. Like, for instance, Korean and Mandarin, I know a bunch of like cutesy things, whatever, because I dated a Korean guy and a Taiwanese guy. So, but if you hear me speak Tagalog, you can tell that I learned from friends because I know the more like brash, shitty things.
Right. Hold on, how would you say it in Mandarin? Would it be like gugo? You would call it gugo, right?
I call him balbei.
Balbei, oh, that's right. Balbei, baby. Yeah, balbei means yeah. I lived in...
That means baby, I'm hungry. So you can also tell by like the voice changes too.
Yeah,
but
the
honestly,
high pitch.
With every Asian language that I speak, my voice does get higher. I speak Vietnamese fluently, so when I speak, I don't know, for like Asian languages, my voice goes higher.
I think that's everyone.
When I speak, right?
Yeah.
But when I speak English, I sound like I'm 7'3" with 2 Glocks. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that too. I'm the same way. That's why I prefer to speak English to women, but I always have to speak in Korean to Korean women. And then they're like, "Oh, 귀여워. Oh, 귀여워." I'm like over here sitting. I'm like sitting over here trying to look like a fucking Giga Chad, and they're just like, fucking because I talk like a fucking 5-year-old in Korean.
That's awesome.
Oh,
but yeah,
gosh.
so you can kind of tell by where I learned what. And who I learned it from. As for the Korean, I dated a Korean guy for like 3 years, so I learned a bunch from him.
Okay. What was that like, dating a Korean guy? I would love to hear about that relationship.
And this was in my early 20s to mid 20s.
Was he like a Korean, or was he like second gen, American Korean?
He was American Korean, but had very, very Korean tendencies because he was an only child, golden child Korean man. Okay,
interesting. Tell me about what are Korean tendencies?
Mama's boys.
Korean tendencies, mama. What do you mean Korean tendencies?
More like so they're very like my parents said this. Like I have to my parents, right? And it got very. Eventually, I split with him because.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Eventually I split with him because I got sick of him. Like, he's like, "Oh, I'm not criticizing what you do. No, I'm fine with it. But if my mom saw that you wash your towels after only 2 uses or 3 uses, she would flip. Or if my mom saw how late you slept in, she'd be so mad. But I'm not. I don't care." And then at one point I just got to the point where it's like, dude, fuck you and your mom. I'm out.
Fuck you.
Not like that. Not like that, but it eventually got to at I want to say like 26 years old. He's like, so when are you? I was like going on tours. I was doing meet and greets, and I was like my career was picking up.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
was like, so when like I'm gonna buy a ring soon. I want to get married and have kids. He was like a few years older than me.
Okay.
So when are you gonna dye your hair back to brown and go to like real estate school or something?
What?
And just have a normal life?
He literally
And-
said that? Dye your hair back to
Yeah.
brown?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So it was, and we had this conversation while I was in Germany doing a meet and greet out there. And we were arguing about it. And then I realized like I'm in a country that I've never been to. I'm getting paid to be here to meet all my fans, to do what I'm dreaming of doing. And this motherfucker's in my phone pissing me off, saying, when am I going to come home and like dye my hair brown, get pregnant, and like never live my life again?
Uh-huh.
And then so I was like, you know what? This isn't working out. This is over. And I broke up with him, and that was it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
How many years did you say that was?
About like on and off 3 years.
Okay. So just so you know, the whole mama boy thing, I understand. After hearing the whole story, I definitely understand. There are a lot of Korean people that are very family, I don't want to say family oriented, but it technically is that. But like they're very much, it's like if you ever come to Korea, whether you're a guy or girl, it's even more extreme with women. Even if you're in your 30s, you're still living with your parents, like regardless of how wealthy you are. And again, this isn't everyone, guys. I'm just saying it is more common to have that type of environment in Korea, like that. It's seen quite a bit. Like literally, it'll be like 2 30-year-old men. And then they'll be like, "Oh man, my mom can't find out about this." You know, it's literally a thing. Now, of course, there are plenty of Koreans that aren't like that are independent, and it's not a thing. But there's definitely a stereotype there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I definitely get what you mean.
Like last week, I was in Vegas because my friend Tiny Oppa.
You call him
Oppa,
Oppa?
Yeah, Tiny Oppa. Yeah, I've known him for like.
Wow. Okay.
Since I was like a teenager.
Okay,
No, not even 19. So yeah, that counts teenager. But so Tiny Oppa is very good friends with all like K-pop stars, or Korean idols and stuff. And so he hit me up and he's like, "Hey, there's a BTS concert. Do you want to go? We have like the suites and everything." I don't know anything about K-pop. I don't listen to it, but my little sister is a massive fan. I was like, "Can I bring my sister and my cousin?" He's like, "Sure." Oh, chat, by the way, Tiny Oppa, anyone that you know is named Tiny is never Tiny.
It's probably fucking huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this man is very much well respected.
Teeny
but he we went and, so I was surrounded by Korean people the whole time, very like traditional older Korean people, and I learned the word nunchi.
Nunchi, okay. Okay. Man, what would be the English translation for that?
Nunchi, I would translate it to when somebody says, "Hey, you have no nunchi," which it means like social awareness. You're not respectful to your elders.
Social awareness, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, social awareness.
Like if you come in to someone's house and you overstay your welcome, you have no nunchi. You know, like it's like that. You're like reading the room, social awareness, tactless, yes.
Yeah.
And then like as I was looking around, I was like, I don't think I can ever date like a really traditional Korean guy because one, I don't have that look. They like that certain Korean woman look. I don't have that look.
Okay.
I'm very much an Asian American.
Right.
And they're just like the women that they like is like very dainty, tiny, like light,
fair, pale
pretty,
complexion,
bright makeup, pale, yeah.
And
just like they're very feminine.
Like Korean,
and I think they're so
there's
beautiful.
a word for that. It's like I think Koreans would call that like 청순한 style. So it's I don't know how I would. It's like I don't know how I would actually translate that in English, but
it's very feminine.
Yeah, like kind of like pretty. I don't want to say conservative, but like certainly not sexy, right? Like kind of like just your. I don't know. It's difficult to explain, but yeah, I get you. Yeah.
It is pretty conservative.
Yeah.
Like we went out to dinner and one of them was like in a very nice black dress and dangly diamond earrings. I was like, we're at a fucking Thai restaurant and we're about to drive home from Vegas. Like, why are you so?
We're at a fucking Thai restaurant.
Yeah. Like what? like, okay, sure, I guess so. Like, but like when I look at them, I'm like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. And I love it. I think it's so beautiful.
Elegant.
You
That's
know,
like that. Yeah.
elegant, very
yes.
elegant and feminine. Yes. It's really pretty.
Okay, hold on.
Also,
So,
there's someone in your chat named Harpoon My Tang, and that's the greatest name I've ever seen.
yeah, he's been hanging out for a little while now.
Great name.
So hold on. All right. So you dated a Korean guy for how many years? You said 2 or 3 years?
Uh-huh.
Okay. What other ethnicities have you dated?
Taiwanese.
Taiwanese. That's right. You're talking about Taiwanese, yeah?
Yeah, I realized that Taiwanese and Korean I like because they were raised to be traditional, like how I was. But then there
Okay.
was also like a sense of like too traditional, like the Korean guy, you know?
Uh-huh.
So Taiwanese, I dated one white guy and Filipino.
Okay. So of all the relationships, what would you say your preference is right now? Like if you had to pick one.
Well, okay, that's kind of okay. So this is kind of a weird thing. I've dated 2 Taiwanese guys in the past.
Okay.
One briefly and one for a little bit longer. The most recent one that I just got out of a relationship like last year was Taiwanese, but he was like, I don't know if I was drunk the whole relationship or like I don't was I, like you know I don't know why the fuck I put up with this for so long. Because I told like I said like I like more traditional guys, but for some reason I was in this whole like I can fix him period.
Okay.
That was a massive mistake.
Okay.
Because he was Taiwanese from a fairly wealthy family and he was a lawyer. And, you know, great on paper. Like when you see that on paper, awesome. You know, like have your shit together.
Sure.
So Kanon, tell me why we were paying 50-50 on everything. I was doing all the driving. I had to teach this motherfucker how to do his own laundry. And at the age of 31, I had to teach him that, wait, someone says, oh, she saw money? Oh no, calm down, sweetheart. I made a lot more money than him. It's not that. And then at the age of 31, I had to teach him that he was not circumcised. Was I drunk the whole time? Like, why did I put up with this?
Hold on. Like, how do you end? Like, hold on. Do you just kind of skip over the phase of getting to know people before you become boyfriend girlfriend, or do you just go right into it? Because a lot of this sounds like it could have been prevented if you took some time to get to know the person before actually making them your boyfriend.
It turned out it was a massive. It was like a whole like narcissist situation. So what he showed me was way different.
Okay.
Like a year later.
Sure. Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Which, by the way, it's very Korean to actually just jump into a relationship. And this is a cultural difference that I find myself having with some of the Korean women that I date here. I've literally dated one girl. I remember this specifically. Our third date, we were in her car and then we parked and then we were going to go somewhere. I can't remember exactly the details, but like we kissed in the car. And then she stops me mid-kiss. I just realized my mom's going to probably listen to this, but that's okay. Korean stereotype, by the way. No. So I'm literally, like, I kiss her on the third date, right? And she literally stops me mid-kiss. And she just looks at me dead in the eyes. And she's like, 왜 안 물어봐? Like, why aren't you asking me? I'm like, asking you what? And she's like, why aren't you asking me to be your girlfriend? I was like, I didn't know. I was like, because this is my third time meeting you?
Yeah.
You know, like, but most Korean relationships, and again, not all before, you know, all the Korean people crucify me, but let's be real here. Even if you're Korean, you'd agree with this. Most Korean relationships, you become official after 3 to 4 dates. Legit. 3 to 4.
That's really fast.
So I was thinking that's what happened with you and your, you know, Taiwanese boyfriends and your Korean boyfriend that you're just talking about right now.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. It was like, it just ended up, he turned out to be completely different than what he portrayed himself as.
Mhm.
But then it was already like in too deep. I was like, okay, you know what? Maybe, we can. It didn't work out, so I eventually ended it.
Damn. Hold on.
So
So hold on. These boyfriends, you just
yeah.
Any
Yes.
heartbreakers? Was there any
No.
guy that broke your heart?
Well, okay. Okay. So the previous one, it's because I found out he cheated.
Oh.
That's
okay.
why I cut it off immediately.
The very last one.
Yeah.
Oh wow. What an asshole.
But before that, like I'm a very patient woman. I will give you chances and I will, work with you on stuff and all that
Right.
stuff. But after this relationship, I was like, maybe I should not be as patient and as nice.
Oh yeah, cheating is
Um,
yeah.
Yeah. So when I found out that he cheated, it was cut off immediately. And I'm like, it's like, that's just the
Yeah.
easiest way to do it.
I was about to ask you how you found out, but I don't want to like pull that story out if you don't want to talk about it, which is fair.
My friends walked into a restaurant and saw him eating with another girl.
Okay.
So I they took a picture of him, sent it to me. I have a I call them the Demon Squad. It's the girl group chat that I have.
Okay.
The Demon Squad can find anything about anyone anytime, and they're international also.
Okay.
So like no matter what, there's always someone awake. So within like 10 to 15 minutes, they found this girl's Instagram, Facebook, where she works, where she lives, what city she lives in, how long ago they met, and so I got in contact with her. This was in November. I got in contact with her, and I was like, "Hey, I don't know if you know this, but that's my guy." And she goes, "Oh my God, I had no idea. I'm so sorry." So I was like, "When did you meet?" She goes, "In July." July
Oh,
was
shit.
when, one, it was my birthday. Two, I was recovering from surgery.
Oh no.
And he never came to visit me or anything. And he slept with her during that time. So that's when I found out.
Oh my gosh.
Someone in chat says, well, what gave him the reason to cheat? Well, the reason is because he's a dumbass. Don't look at me and be like, well, what did you do to get him to cheat? No, it's because he's a dumbass. So that's how I found out. And, well, she told me that she slept with him because I was like, so when did you meet? She's like, July. I'm like, did you sleep with him? She's like, yeah. I was like, when? And she's like, back in July. I'm like, cool. Like 5 days before my birthday.
Yeah, that's Jesus. What? Wait, what?
Mhm.
This was the Taiwan. This is one of the Taiwanese guys, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, gotcha. And how long were you guys together before
We
that
were
ended?
together for a year, and then I broke up with him, and then we took like 8 or 9 months apart, and then we started dating again for like another, I don't know, 8 or 9 months or so.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Yeah, that's Tell me more
But-
about this demon squad.
The Demon Squad is a network of many women.
Okay. They're not into like the whole cannibalism thing, right? Because that would
No,
kind of
no.
be scary.
No. But they are very good at doing what they need to do and finding things for me, or like, yeah, it's every girl group has that, I just call them that.
Okay, fair. Okay, so, how long how long ago
Oh,
was
but
that?
to answer what you were saying earlier, so if I had to choose between what to date now,
Yes.
it would be it used to be like Taiwanese at the very top, and now it's
Mhm.
probably like Korean and yeah, it's up there, like
Okay.
it's Taiwanese and Korean.
So,
Yeah.
so, like, okay, what about physical look though? Forget about like the whole culture, all that stuff. Just physical look. What ethnicity would you say you're most attracted to?
I lean more towards Asians, that's for sure.
Uh-huh. Is there any specific
Um,
type of Asian? Like, for example, you said Korean or Taiwanese or Japanese, Chinese.
Gongyu?
Huh?
Gongyu?
Gongyu? What is that?
The guy that slaps people in Squid Games?
Oh. Oh, right. Yeah. So, okay.
I would go
gotcha.
into so much debt just for a chance for him to slap me in a subway station.
Oh my
Kanon.
gosh. Jesus Christ. All right, come to Korea. I will make that happen for you. How about that?
What do I like specifically? I
That's your type, though, Gongyu? I mean, he's a good-looking dude.
He's a good-looking dude. I like
He's a very good-looking dude.
well-dressed men.
Okay.
I really, really like tattoos. Tattoos have always been a massive thing for me.
Really? Tattoos,
Yeah.
huh? Like
I like
just
tattoos in general.
covered in tattoos, or like
Yeah.
really?
Yes.
I will say
love
tattoos, like they definitely look like male or female. They definitely make you look more badass for sure. I'm not a tattoo guy. Absolutely. I'm about to get a tattoo. Never, ever. Like I am not a tattoo guy. I'm just not a big fan of tattoos. Yeah.
So I love tattoos, but I like tattooed guys that are very well dressed. I love suits. I'm a massive fan of suits. I know exactly what kind of suits I like.
Conor
on
McGregor.
men.
I'm thinking an Asian Korean Conor McGregor is what I'm thinking right now.
That's a little bit too bulky. I like him a little bit more slim.
Okay.
And
Connor's pretty thin. Well, now he's fucking
Is he?
huge, but yeah. He used to be pretty thin. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, but he would always. I mean, he's tatted up, but he always wears, that suit. He's always looking fresh.
Yeah, his suits are a little bit too loud for me. I like more
Okay.
classic. So yeah, like Gongyu. Just if Gongyu had like a half sleeve or whatever, or like a back, I'm done. Like instant pregnant, immediately, right?
Immediately.
Well dressed, good manners. I'm very
This is
big
him,
on
by the way, guys.
Yeah.
This is him.
Oh, you gotta find like the Squid Game one in the suit. Like he's
Okay, Gongyu Squid Game. There you go. Yeah.
like well dressed, good manners. What is it? Chivalrous, opens doors.
Opens
after the,
doors.
Yeah.
You can-
After the previous relationship, I'm never dating anyone that goes 50-50 ever again.
Okay, let's talk
because-
about that. 50-50.
Sure.
All right. So, all right, you've already made very clear you're an old-fashioned girl and you like old-fashioned guys when it comes to, a little bit more of the conservative style. The guy takes care of the girl, etc., etc. Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way. So, when it comes to who pays the bill, 50-50. You think the guy should be paying majority and taking care of the girl? Okay.
Yes. That's what I prefer because I grew up in a very traditional Vietnamese family
Sure.
that does that. But then towards the latter half of my life, it was like the feminist movement, where it's like, no, women don't, do this and whatever. Like women are independent. So it was a very strange time for me because I was raised one way, but I'm growing up another.
Sure.
What I say is, how do I phrase this? How I like my relationships is they pay for dinner and stuff like that. I take care of everything else in the house. I like that. Like I actually do prefer that. I used to, like, whenever he came home from work, dinner's done and ready. I don't need them to take care of me. I want them to want to take care of me.
Sure.
I don't need you to. I can do it myself just fine, but I would prefer it that way.
I think that's a really good way of putting it, actually. What you just said there. Like, I don't like it, it's more that you want them to want to take care of you rather than require them to take care of you. Yeah, I think that's a great way of putting it.
Exactly. Yeah. My girlfriend Nikki, she's married to my friend, my friend Nikki and Steve. That's where I first heard it because his wedding vows to her were, I want to take care of you not because you need to, but because I need to. I want to.
What a Giga Chad.
Steve's not a Chad. Steve's a fucking dork. I love him.
Giga Chad.
So that's what it kind of comes down to, because it's very, like, it is a very old school traditional.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be for everyone, you know. Like, if I went
Right.
on a date with a guy, the first date, and he asks me, "Do you want to split this?" I will always say yes, but there's probably not going to be a second date,
Sure.
you know. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, I get that. I get that. Yeah, so like
Yeah.
I think what you're saying, I mean, obviously some people are probably going to be rubbed the wrong way, but I'm totally with you because okay, like I think hypocrisy is bad. So if you're someone that was like, you know, I don't want it to be 50-50, but in the same breath you're like, you know, everything's equal, you know, whatever, then that's a little bit okay, well then if you're talking about equal, you should also be offering to pay. But you know, you've clearly stated that you're more of an old-fashioned girl, because that's you know, that's you know, I don't want to say old-fashioned as in like that's no longer the case. That
Right.
is definitely the case. Actually, it's the case. Majority. I've lived in multiple countries now. That's definitely the standard. If you're talking about raw numbers and what people prefer internationally. And you've made that very clear, right? And if someone is very clear about that, being like, hey, I'd like to take care of the stuff at home, all that stuff. And then yeah, I think that's definitely reasonable, you know, that you would expect that. But I wanted to
Right.
kind of hear your thought process and how you would go about it. Personally, I'm also a little, and I think it's maybe an Asian upbringing, I don't know, but like I'm very much like that too. I'm a little bit more old school. I like if I go on a date with someone, I always, you know, offer to pay. I think I would say this though, on behalf of most men, I think a lot of men like the girl, I would prefer the girl to at least offer to pay or split
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that on a first date. But like no real man would, like, let's be real here. This is I could catch a lot of flack for this, but no real man should really make the girl pay. Come on. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like
no,
on the first,
absolutely.
but like yeah, asking
If
is
I go on a
yeah.
date, I will not just, like, when the bill comes, I'm not just going to sit there and be like, you know, I think that's kind of a dick move. Like, even like I wouldn't do that. I will always offer, you know. It's like a courtesy, like,
Sure.
you know, would
Yeah. Just the
you know,
courtesy.
do you want to
Yeah.
split that? Do you want to help with that? You know. But if he accepts, it's like, okay, this is probably not going to work out.
Oh, okay. I gotcha. See, I think
Yeah.
that's really good. I think that's really cool insight though, guys, because like this type of stuff, you know, there's going to be another girl that literally would say the opposite of what Gina just said. That goes to show you how important standards and culture and what's the word I'm looking for? Just you know, just the way people just preferences. I guess that's the word that I'm looking for lack of a better word, but like preferences. People like everyone has like different preferences, right? Like with what they want in a relationship. And I will say that like that for that precise reason, like
Yeah.
I'm at a point in my life where I want to start dating American women. But with Asian back, like, cause like I moved to Korea when I was like, so I dated really late. Like I've had one girlfriend, my first love, when I was like 21 years old. And shortly after that relationship had ended, I moved to Korea for my work, right? And I've been in Asia. I've lived in Thailand, I've lived in China, I've lived in Korea, variety of countries, but I've been in Asia for like, you know, since then. And I've only dated like either Korean or I guess I dated a few Chinese girls as well, but like mainly Korean because I spent most of my time in Korea. So I dated mainly Korean women. So it's like a part of me would like to really like for me it's kind of difficult because all the Korean women I also dated, not many of them could actually speak English that well. And it was like outside of like a language barrier, like I definitely felt like a little bit of a cultural barrier and I wasn't sure if it was like me and my issues, you know, but like I'm definitely at the point where I'd like to try to date like, you know, a westernized person, but at the same time, I'd like to date someone that still understands like, you know, Asian roots. Like I guess like
Right.
an old school type of traditional type of person. I don't know. It's difficult. I'm all
No,
over.
I
I'm
get
all
it.
over the
I
place.
understand.
I'm
understand.
all over the place.
It's so I feel the same way, you know. It's like a proper balance of both. That's why I lean more towards dating Asian guys because they understand it more. Like the one white guy that I dated, he was perfectly fine. He was nice, but he didn't understand our culture, you know? So how do I explain this relationship dynamic? Like, if he pays, like, if for me as a woman, or as me as who I am, when I feel like I am absolutely, completely taken care of and safe, that's the actual like big word here. If I feel safe, then my feminine side thrives. I
Okay.
take care of my significant other. I cook, I clean, I take care of like our bills. I like, oh babe, like noticed that you have a hole in your shirt. I go and buy him that stuff. Or I notice that he's missing this and that or whatever. I go and I spend my money on that stuff. If he nurtures our present, I can nurture our future. You know? So I'm not sitting around doing nothing. And when I speak about safety, it's like he is emotionally, he takes good care of me emotionally, physically, financially, and all that. And
You have to feel
feel like
secure.
I have to feel secure.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know, that if something were to happen to me, if we were to have kids and something happened to me, can I trust them completely to take care of like the kids or the house, whatever, if I'm like sick, if I'm like dying, right? And if I feel completely safe and secure in a relationship, my feminine side thrives and I can take care of everything else. So I had a hard time learning this in my 20s because my dad is a very traditional Vietnamese man. And he
Really?
told, oh yes, and it's very odd because I'm his eldest born and I am exactly like him.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so it's very odd. But he taught me, he was like, Gina, you in a relationship with a man need to learn how to be like, need to learn how to step back a little bit and let the man lead. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about, Dad? First of all, me, Gina, am your firstborn and I'm exactly like you. Would you ever step back for anyone? And he goes, you're not going to understand this now, but in our culture as a woman, that's just how it works. And I fought against it for the longest time. I didn't understand it because my dad was married to a white woman who had to learn all this. And so I talked to my stepmom and I was like, how do you deal with this? Because that's weird. What do you mean? And she goes, Gina, I don't think you understand. And she looked me in the eye and she said, Gina, your dad wears the pants in this family, but I pick out which pants he wears every morning. And then I was like,
Oh.
oh, I see. And then like it kind of clicked to me and I was like, oh shit, this actually makes sense. And so like the fact that I step back in a relationship and I am the more submissive one doesn't mean that I completely lose control in this relationship. It's just that I'm playing another just as important role
Right.
to help my significant other be the best he can be. And when he's the best he can be to both of us, I can be the best that I can be in like a more feminine energy.
Wow. That's some real talk, man. Jesus.
Agent Falcon says MMO support IRL. It's true. I'm your little pocket healer. So, you know, and that's what I mean when I say that I prefer a man that can take care of everything so that I can take care of everything on my side.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I mean, wow. That's some really good insight, Gina. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. I am impressed. And I thought you were just some random cannibalistic girl that played Counter-Strike. You're hitting me with all this wisdom over here, make me rethink life right now. Jesus. My gosh.
It's exactly that's what Matthias is saying in chat. Like I've always said that take care of me and I'll take even better care of you. So when I say, so right off the bat, like, and we saw this earlier in chat too, when I said that I like for a man to pay for everything and take care of everything, already I saw the comments saying, oh, this bitch is blah, blah, blah. She's digging for money, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, first of all, fuck you guys. I make more money than every single guy I've ever dated. And now that I explain it more, I hope you guys understand it more now. Like,
Sure.
it doesn't mean that I'm sitting back and doing nothing.
Yeah.
It's that I am now more empowered to do all the things in the other like more traditional.
Yeah, I
side.
think the guys that typically call out the women that say, "Hey, I want the guy to pay for this," they're calling out the women that say in the same breath, "Hey, equality, equal, everything equal, independent women, yada yada yada." And not to say that, not to say that that's wrong or anything, but I think that's what they're calling out. You know what I mean? Like if you're trying to say that the guy should pay, 'cause, like, most guys will say, like, I don't know of a single guy. Well, actually, I take that back. I haven't lived in the States for a while, but my network of friends, like guy friends, any girl that's open and saying, "Hey, I want to feel secure. You're the man. I'm the woman. I'll take care of the house stuff. You pay the bills. I'm going to be that wife." Like, I don't, like, all my groups of friends, all my group, like, guy friends would not say that like, they would be like, okay, like that's totally fine. Right. Like, but then again, I've also been living in Asia for like the past decade and a half or so. So, yeah, I think typically speaking, it's the guys that are calling out the girls that are like kind of, being hypocrites. But I don't think anything that you said was hypocritical at all. Gina is wifey material. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
It really comes to, look, like, my way won't work for everyone and their way won't work for me. And really comes,
and that's fine. Yeah.
It's fine. It's what works in your relationship. And like, if it makes you happy, it makes you happy. If that's how you guys thrive, and it's absolutely 100% preference.
Any of the guys you dated, were any of them like content creators or streamers or gamers, or were they just completely not a part of that?
No, they were. I usually dated suits, like.
Okay, like lawyers.
Yeah. Because I always thought, like, I never wanted to mix, my work with my personal relationship.
Yeah. Okay.
But after dating suits for a while, I realized, like, maybe I should start dating within, my people more, the arts or like the gaming or whatever, because I feel like it would be a mutual understanding, and they get it more, so I don't know, or maybe like it has to be like a proper balance, like maybe a suit that is also a gamer that's also a creator, maybe that's like the perfect. Maybe that's the perfect thing, but I've never met one like that.
Secretly, like, some of my people in chat right now, like, I'm not telling like, my viewers want to know what I do in real life, and I've never shared that openly. Like, there's very few people. I think the only person that knows what I actually do in my chat right now is my editor, and he knows, and he can't say anything because he signed an NDA with me, so he can't actually share that information.
That's actually really smart.
Outside of him, like, there's literally nobody that knows what I do. And I told my chat, I told my community that I would share that information when I hit 100K subs on YouTube.
Let me Google sub bots YouTube. Bots YouTube. I'm gonna send some subs over to your place, or to your YouTube. All bots.
Hold on, time out. I should probably also say that I have to maintain that number for this is
fine.
Just
sub
bot.
It's fine.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you told me that, and I made a series of guesses because
you did. Like, that's right.
What?
What did she guess here?
What did I guess? I came up with the dumbest things I can possibly come up with.
Came up with some
random.
Here we
go. Yes. Random things. My list was okay, and I started like typing this in our Discord. I was like, I'm gonna nail it eventually. So let's see: hotel manager, male escort, skincare developer, puppy groomer, stage manager for BTS, Ajuma caretaker, dentist, keeper of a local temple, a suit tailor, CEO of Kaibi Snacks, hentai artist. It's got to be in there somewhere.
For some reason, like, I have so many people. I think like the top guess right now is male gigolo. Like, seriously, like escort. Like, seriously, male escort. Everyone is like saying that for some reason. Do I fucking look like a male escort? Please. I mean, come on. Like, I haven't been to the gym in like 2 fucking years. Is it possible that I like, come on. Who the fuck is going to want to pay sex or pay to have sex with me? I mean, maybe Waldo, because fucking Waldo is Waldo. But other than that, let's be real here. Hiding a six pack, exactly.
In China, they have those like rent a boyfriend at malls.
Oh
so
my god!
Are you one of those?
Gina, okay, so I was actually looking at some of those YouTube videos on my stream one day, and I told them, because I want to do like variety stuff. Like I've been wanting to do IRL streams. I did do an IRL stream once in Korea, and it was fantastic. And I was thinking about other things to do, and one of the things I was thinking about doing was actually renting a girlfriend. Like, cause like they have that, like, and live stream it with me renting a girlfriend and just share that experience. So I fucking went on Naver, which is the Korean Google. I was looking up these services, and I guess they're all gone now. I couldn't find a website that offered those services anymore.
Oh, it's not COVID compliant. That's why.
Maybe, yeah, maybe, possibly.
I'm so curious. How far are we away from? What was your goal?
100K on YouTube.
How far away are we from that?
I'm like at like 71 or 72K.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're close, but the Lost Ark hype has kind of died down. So like, I grew really fast. Like I got from like 30 to 70 really quick. Way. But what? Do what?
I know exactly how to do this.
How to do what?
If I just went online and I just did a huge announcement that says, I just made up some bullshit. And I said, guys, it's official. I'm finally announcing it. Please meet my boyfriend, Kanon XO. There you go.
I dare you to do it. Okay, if you do that and I hit 100K subs, I will literally share right now on this podcast what I do. I'll do it. I'll take it. So
in all of my like 12 years in entertainment, I have never gone public with a significant other.
Really?
So yeah.
Okay.
One of the questions that I get the most is always, Gina, who are you dating? Who are you dating? Who are you dating? In fact, for my announcement for G4, the announcement video and the week leading up to it was I posted very vague pictures of like a guy's hand on my thigh or me holding hands with someone or like saying like, oh, hey, you know, like I've been really busy. I've been seeing someone, just like a tease, like a soft launch of a boyfriend, you know? And I posted a video saying, hey, you know, like, sorry, I've been gone. I know I haven't been really posting as much. It's because I've been really busy. I am in a relationship now, and I feel like I'm finally comfortable enough to go public with my relationships. I know I've never done that in the past 12 years. So I just wanted to come out and finally say that I'm currently in a relationship with and then a bunch of explosions happened. It was G4 TV. And they photoshopped the G4 glyph on top of a guy's body that I was holding hands with.
Oh
so,
my gosh.
I've never gone public. So for chat,
what a debate.
I should just like force this out of him right now and
hey,
just
listen,
like pretend that he's.
I am a man of my word. So I have 2 bets right now. I have 2 deals or 2 promises that I've given my community, my chat. The first one is revealing what I do in real life after 100K YouTube subs. So I don't care what you do, Gina. If you have the power to get me there, by all means, I will. If that number hits 100, I will share what I do. And the second thing is every fucking Lost Ark content creator, for some fucking reason, just gets dressed up in a maid cosplay and streams. Every single Lost Ark creator. And I don't know what the fuck, like, why the hell they do it, why the hell they do that, but like, my chat has been egging me on to do it, and I'm just like, no, I'm not gonna fucking do it. And then one time, one person, some randomly, like, because they asked, at that time they were asking me like every day. They were like, one person came in. I can't remember who said it, but it stuck with me because he goes, "Everyone has a price." Right. And that sentence kind of got like reading that message kind of got me like, okay, you know what? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Everyone has a price. True. Okay. Here's my price. And I told them, because at my size, right? My size, considering my size, I told them that I will get, not only will I do a maid cosplay, but I will get in like the most professional, like I will go to a professional makeup studio to the point where I am unrecognizable, and all my viewers, 97% male, by the way, they will bust out the lotion. That's how attractive I will be. I will do this complete, like I will have the like massive boobas, cleavage, everything, like the whole bodysuit, everything. I will do that for 10,000 concurrent subs. And I told them, you have until the end of this year to get me to 10,000 concurrent subs on Twitch. and I will do that, and I will stream the whole fucking thing. That was my price.
How many subs does it take for me to not see that?
Look, that is a like the only reason why I told them it was that number is because it is completely, I mean, you know, you're a content creator, you know how difficult that number is, especially for my size. It's just not possible, right? So like that, I gave them an impossible mission, and at the it was kind of funny because like I thought that the only chance that they actually had is if for some, like at the time Asmongold was kind of watching some of my videos. And I felt like some of the Asmongold viewers were like, oh, let's get Asmon to come and gift all these subs to him. And I was kind of thinking, yo, what if they actually get him to fucking do that shit? I'm like, no, Asmon wouldn't fucking do that. Asmon wouldn't do that. And, you know, he ended up not doing it. But like, yeah, it's just not going to happen. So, yeah.
Kanon, I swear to God, like if we do reach this goal and your job is something fucking like just like an accountant or a comptroller or something, or IT, I will fly over there and punch you myself.
Okay, in the throat?
Like, this better be, yeah, in the throat.
Again, so you'll punch me twice in the throat.
Oh, like, it'll be more than twice.
Okay. All right, so I will say this, and I've told this to my community already. It's something that I'm pretty confident that no one would guess. And I will go as far as to say this too. If you guys found out what I did for a living, you guys would absolutely want to see
a day in a life, I guess.
You would definitely, it would be intriguing, and you'd want to see me do my job, I suppose, or have
Chinese
interest
theater
in
actor.
seeing it.
Traditional Korean theater actor, Chinese theater actor, stripper. Damn it, what is it, guys? Guys, what the fuck?
Oh my gosh. All right, hold on. I'm so sorry. Like my podcasts, I've never gotten out of my seat, but like to stay like super active for this, I popped out some of these drinks, and I just really need to use the restroom. So if you guys, give me please 30 seconds. I will be right back. Okay, sorry.
I'll handle it. Don't worry. I got you. Okay, now that the headset's off. All right, hold on. Which mod is the one that knows what he does for a living? Which one? Show yourself. Show yourself right now. Follow-up question. Oh, it's Pangie. Okay, follow-up question. If I pay for the lawsuit and some on top of that, hear me out. Hear me out. I know you signed an NDA, and if you say something and he sues you, what if, you know, what if like I just pay for the lawsuit, whatever damages on top of that, and then like kick you a few thousand? Think about it. You know, hit me up. You know what my line is? Just I need a job since I'd lose it. It's fine. Like, come work for me, baby. Like, what do you moderate, you edit? Like, and, you know, and we would never have him sell himself out like that. I feel like if his job is his privacy, we should definitely not pry all. And I like you guys that keep on asking is so rude. Like, stop asking and offering his mods money to out him. That's fucked up, you guys. I don't understand. Like, do you guys know nothing about privacy?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, hey, Kanon, you're back. What's
Hi.
up, dude?
Yeah, I appreciate you for sticking up for me here, Gina.
Yeah, got you.
Like, I'm so glad that you're the type of person that's just always straightforward. You like, you know, like just honest.
Yeah.
Not a person that would change her story, you know, after like 30 seconds. You know what I mean? 100%.
Yeah, Pangie
100%.
would never tell me
He would
anything.
Never. He would never. He better not. This fucker signed an NDA.
That's actually really smart. You know, fun fact, I make anyone who comes over to my house for the first time sign an NDA.
Do you really?
Anything that happens in this house, that's spoken in this house, will not leave this house unless, like, you get written approval from me.
Really? Like a legit NDA you get them to sign?
Yeah, I had my lawyers drafted up because one time I hired an organizer to come over to my house when I first moved in to like organize and decorate and stuff. And she took before and after pictures and tagged me on Instagram without my consent. So I, like obviously she didn't mean any harm, so I didn't go after that. But then after that, I had my lawyers draft up an NDA. So every time someone comes over for the first time, they have to sign it.
Yeah.
And it's like a one-sided NDA. Like it's just like you cannot say anything.
You are a smart girl.
Yeah.
That's actually very smart. Man.
I'm a big fan of legal stuff, legal proceedings, and all that mumbo jumbo.
Did you learn the hard way?
No, I
Really?
just learn. Yeah, I just learn.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that would have led me to a different conversation. Yeah, that's. I was just thinking. Yeah, I was about to share something, but that would have led me down a path that I don't want to go into right now. But but yeah. So hold on, Gina. So you did content creating pretty early, in your teens. I take it you never really did anything outside of everything that you've shared with us so far, or is there anything else that you've done in your life, maybe professionally or as a job or anything else that's interesting?
Outside of content and entertainment, I mean, like besides my first few day jobs, not really. Like this has been my constant for a long time. Like when I was from like teenager to early 20s, when I was like broke, like struggling, I worked like 3 jobs at a time.
Right.
And then during the weekends I go dance, and then like whatever week or off days I would do like photo shoots. So I would model or do like just take like offbeat jobs, like a booth babe at a convention or something. But other than that, no, it was just like day jobs, and then entertainment got more and more busy, so I didn't have to do that anymore. But
how important is the job of the guy that you date? Like if you're seriously considering, to settle down with a guy in a long-term relationship, how important is that person's job?
I would like him to be stable. There's like a certain lifestyle that I want in my relationship dynamic, and if I were to have a family.
Sure.
And I would like for him to be able to provide for our family. As we both will be, So it's pretty important.
Okay, so hold on.
Yeah.
Just because I'm learning about MissGinaDarling right now, right? So you prefer, like, you're an old-fashioned girl. You take care of the house, guy makes money, pays the bills, etc., etc. Does that mean that if you were to, okay, let's say you and I were dating, okay, and let's say that I make pretty good money, all right, theoretically, okay, like if we had kids, does that mean that I could expect you to quit your job and take care of the kids at home?
Depending on how we're doing financially.
If we were doing just fine financially.
If that's what you wanted and you preferred, it would be kind of a discussion, because I do,
of course, yeah,
want to maintain some sort of like something,
right,
right, in my career, because I've worked so hard for it.
Hold your
like,
horses,
the Korean guy.
Sorry, that fucking chat is just hilarious. Like the way they react to everything is it's so funny. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Gina. Sorry,
no,
it's just the chat is fucking.
It's actually really cute. Hold on, let me scroll up on this.
It's so like I'm like trying to hold my laughter in, but like these guys.
The Korean guy that I dated in my early mid. Oh yeah, actually no, I take that back. That's the only guy that I dated that I did not make more money than. This was during like the middle of my career, so I wasn't making like incredible money. Like I wish I was making incredible money now. What is incredible relatively? But I don't know. So he did make more money than me, and his family owned a very big business, and he took over that family business, and the option was there. Gina, like I said, he told me, let's get married. You quit whatever, have kids and you never have to work again. But I still said no to that because I
okay.
knew that I wanted to do more.
Sure.
You know, I had more goals and achievements that I wanted to do first. And I knew that I had a lot more potential than to just get pregnant, get married, and just never
Yeah,
make
yeah.
anything, you know?
I think that's a little different though. Like I think
So
that's
if,
fair
like,
for you.
like
Yeah, for sure.
now or like later on when I'm
Yeah, later
more
on when
successful.
later on when
Yeah.
you're, ready to get married, I guess. Because I mean,
Right.
anyone that's even like, no matter how old school or old fashioned you are, if you're like, for example, let's take it to an extreme. If you're like 18 years old, like
Right.
it's like you should really experience life, before you settle down. So like, yeah, to be fair, like when you're older and when you're ready to get married.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if I'm older and I'm ready to get married and my guy's basically like, "Hey, I make a fuck ton of money. I don't want you to work anymore. Just, chill if we have kids or whatever, or like take your time to pursue dreams that you weren't able to do before." Fuck yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. I love you. Like to be able to give that to me, that's incredible. Because if as traditional as I am, like if I was able to do that for someone else and like very comfortably do it, that would be dope, you know? But if a man offered that to me, like someone that I'm very much in love with, that I am spending my life with, and he offered that, yes. This is okay. So this is really, so people are very surprised when I say this because they ask me like, Gina, what are your like end goals? Like, what do you want? And it's always been a split between I want to have an empire, like business wise, or I want to be a stay-at-home wife and mom. And they're like, you want to do that? I'm like, yeah, because that's what I was raised as when I was a kid, like when I was like the very first half of my life. So I'm totally okay with both, or like a healthy mixture of both.
Okay, cool. How many kids do you want?
As of now, and for most of my life, I've always said I don't want kids.
Okay.
But then the answer has changed quite recently. I do want kids, like 2 or 3, but the thing is, I don't want to give birth to them. So,
Would you ever consider adopting?
I would consider adopting, yeah.
Really? Okay.
But I'm talking more like a surrogate because, listen,
I'm listening.
I'm not scared of many things.
Okay.
Okay. The only things I'm scared of are centipedes.
Oh yeah, those fuckers are
Ghosts.
scary.
And childbirth. I am terrified of childbirth.
Really?
Like me at my age, you guys know, like back then on the internet was the wild, wild west. In the beginning of the internet, there was no moderating anything, right? We used to watch cartel beheadings right before dinner. We used to watch one guy, one glass jar or whatever. Perfectly fine. I love bloody, gory stuff. I follow medical pages on Instagram and Reddit, Like all the bloody, gory stuff, great. Childbirth, no. Absolutely not. I follow these medical Instagram accounts where it's like all bloody gory stuff, but like sometimes I'll scroll through it and I'll accidentally see like a video that they posted of a baby breaching, like the head breaching, and it's just like instant projectile vomit. And just like I had to like curl up into a ball and cry. Childbirth terrifies me.
Man.
Ugh.
I mean, I have heard that it's like the most excruciating pain you'll ever experience in your life.
Yeah.
That's what
And like
I hear.
any woman that tells you like, oh, it's such a beautiful experience, blah, 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 they're all fucking lying. They're lying. I swear to God, they're all lying. Okay, listen, you know why I'm so scared? And I've still to this day have not been able to bring myself to Google it. Google 3rd-degree vaginal tears. Go ahead. Tell me if you want to give birth. That shit sounds terrifying. I don't even want to look at it.
Yeah, I don't think I want that being pushed in my algorithm. Yeah, I don't know.
So, kids, open to it. But that's why I work so hard, is so that I can make money to have surrogates.
Interesting. So like giving birth the old-fashioned way to your baby, that's something you're definitely never gonna do. Or maybe you can change your mind on that in the future.
If it comes down to like my husband and I, like, oh shit, we're pregnant. Fine, fuck, but I will be so scared and I will make you pay for it. You better get me a push present. I swear to God.
Present.
Yes, because I remember I saw a post from my buddy on Facebook, and he said that he had just bought his wife like this gorgeous Chanel purse. And one person commented saying, why do you guys waste money on such blah 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 for your wife and whatever? And so my friend commented saying, this woman gave up her career to give me a child, reared a child for me, and her body is completely different than what it was now. So yes, this is the least I can fucking do for her, you know? So yeah, like if I'm giving birth, me personally, if that thing is crawling out of me,
expect a Chanel bag, minimum.
Chanel, you better get me a fuck. Well, actually, I'm not really into bags anymore, so I don't really know, but we'll see.
I'll be honest, like Chanel bags, I think they're good buys. Chat. Here's why. Here's why. And I've purchased Chanel bags. I purchased that's the fucking stereotype. I'm not a mama's boy, but I bought my mama a Chanel bag. Okay, I bought her.
Coming to Chanel.
Here's why Chanel bags
That
are
means
actually
purse,
fun. This is why. Because did you guys know Chanel bags actually appreciate in price if you take care of them? So it's actually kind of like buying a Rolex, where the value of it, as long as you take good care of it, they actually appreciate. It's a good investment. Think about this. You're investing into an item that appreciates in price, and two, you're making whoever you're buying that item for extremely happy. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. Don't buy Tesla stock. Buy a Chanel purse.
I actually prefer the stock at this point, but no, like it's true. My Chanel bag has gone up by like $2,000. Like these are all investments. They're not just random purses. So it depends on what you buy. Yeah. And watches too.
Very true. Yeah. And obviously how you take care of it and all that stuff. Hi, chat. Kanon's mom can confirm he bought me a bag. It's a little small. Oh man.
You bought a $10,000 LV bag, and I'm 100% sure it's not appreciating. Louis Vuitton.
It's got to be Chanel.
They're not known to go up in value. They are kind of like the lower tier below Chanel and Hermes. So that's
that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna buy one, like it's like go hard or go home, man. Like it's just buy the Chanel, don't buy the Louis. Like if you're like budget, you need some nice stuff for yourself. Maybe you could buy some Louis, but go stick with the Chanel.
Yeah.
Chanel's.
Oh well, I'm really surprised and impressed that you know that.
What, that I know channel?
Gross. The Patek Philippe watches.
I mean, because like I've been living in Korea for quite a bit. Korea is a very materialistic country, very very much so, and so I have learned through that.
I think if you date like traditional Korean girls or Asian girls in general, you're forced to learn. You're gonna learn.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Speaking of material stuff, like, are you ever impressed by a guy's watch?
I know a bit about watches to know what is what, but I cannot go into details. Like when it comes to horology itself, I'm not very well versed into it, but I do know a bit. Okay,
because like I've never been a watch guy, and as I got older, I was told, hey man, women look at your watch, and women look at the watch that you're wearing all the time, man. You got to make sure you get a nice watch. I was like, really? Do women really look at watches? Like really? And then I asked one of my friends, and she was like, Yep. And then like she proceeded to tell me how much my watch cost at the time, which the watch I was wearing at the time was not my watch. It was my brother's watch. But like, and I was like, oh my God, like I'm not a watch guy, but I guess they do pay attention to the watch that I'm wearing. Is that like, do you pay like how's that work for you? Do you pay attention to the watch? Like, do you know, like if you're going on a date with a guy and like, do you take a look at what watch he's wearing?
It wasn't until this past year that I did, because I started to learn about watches, but before that I didn't really care to. So before like this past year I didn't really care to, but then I started learning more and more about it, and like just because I just like to learn about just random things. Like I learned about suits, I learned about fucking, I don't know, the ocean or whatever. So watches, I started reading into it. I'm not the very well versed, but I do know what are like the more high end. I do know what are the higher ends, and I do know what is a waste of money. Like if it's not to judge you on like, oh, this guy makes a fuck ton of money. It's more like if I see a guy wearing a watch, but the watch is like it's like a fucking Louis Vuitton watch, I'm like, why would you waste money on that? That's not what they're known for. You know, like I appreciate the art behind it, but I don't really like pay attention to like, oh, what is he wearing?
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, if you're looking at chat, like every time I talk about something, I just have people try to guess what I do for a living. Ken is a fucking watchmaker. I'm pretty sure we can rule that one out, right? I'm like literally asking her about watches. How would I be a watchmaker? And by the way, chat, I'll give you this. I'll give you guys this. So far, every guess that has been made, like I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. Every guess that has been made has been wrong. So you can rule out whatever the fuck that you've typed so far.
Oh, I gotta figure it out. Or is he lying to us? Or is maybe we can guess what he's trying to throw us off.
I'm not lying. You know? I'm not lying. Why? Pangie knows. Pangie, am I lying? Pangie knows what I do. Pangie, am I lying? I'm definitely not lying. Nail salon owner, professional. Lying your ass. Shut the fuck up, man. This guy. No, man. No, not happening.
How about you? What do you notice about a woman when you go on a first date with her?
Blind dates are really like common in Korea, right? Like you meet
really?
like very common. Like majority of dates in Korea is blind date. It's like, hey, introduce me to someone that you know. You're like, okay, I'll introduce you, and then like you meet. Sometimes you'll get the contact information. Maybe you'll talk on Messenger for a little bit before, and then you meet. That's like most of the dates are set up that way in Korea. Yeah, like if I'm dating someone, like I'm assuming that in this date or in this scenario, it's someone that I've obviously know. Like obviously, like if I meet someone for the first time, there's certain things that stand out more. Like, are you wondering about like the first impression, or just like actually on a date getting to know someone?
Okay, first impression, like physically first.
Physically, okay. So all right, my chat's gonna fucking meme on me here because like I'm always talking about, you know, fucking booba and ass and all that stuff, but to be honest, I'm actually very much a face guy. I'm very face, like the face is really like you can have like the best body in the world and even like a really pretty face, but like I'm very particular with the type of face. Like I have to feel like for me to date someone, I have to feel like I could wake up next to this girl's face every morning. Like I have to feel that I can wake up to that face every morning. Like, and if I feel like I can't, then I can't. It doesn't matter the personality. It doesn't matter, you know, her body or how nice she is or how much money she has or where she's from. I just can't. And that might sound shitty, but like, I don't know. I just like, that's like I would say one of the most, it's like the entry barrier for me, right? Not the only thing I look for, obviously, but that's the first thing. Certainly the face, for sure.
I completely agree. 100%. Like that's the same thing for me too.
Okay.
Because it's like, I mean, body, whatever, you can change, work out or eat more. I don't know, but face, like that's staying, dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then, yeah, like, and then after that, I don't even know anymore, to be honest. Like, if like a younger me would have been able to like list off all the things that I'm looking for in a girl, but like not anymore. Like, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm older, but now it's just like, you know.
How old are you?
I am 34.
Oh, okay.
I'm 34. Yeah. So like for me, I think what I'm looking for in a girl is the same thing. Okay, so here's the analogy that I give people, right? It's like if I'm talking about my guy friends, I've got my homie, like I've got my friends, then I have like my best friend, right? It's like I like both, but like a best friend, like my best friend, it's like it doesn't matter what I'm doing. Like if I'm just doing nothing, I'm happy to just do nothing together, you know, just like kind of hang out, or, you know, I genuinely care for that person. Or if something happens and I want to share something, I want to share that experience with him, you know, whatever that may be. Like the difference between a regular friend and a best friend, there's like a distinct difference between it, right? Not to say that like regular friends are like, you know, whatever, but like that's kind of how I want to feel with my significant other. It's like I want to be with her or around her, right? Like just share things, good or bad. Like even if we're doing nothing together, I want to, like, I remember like recently I was dating someone, or I was like recently, Jesus, like last year I was dating someone, and like it's like we went to eat, and I was just like, man, I don't really want to be here. Like I don't really enjoy your company, you know, like I like you, you're fun, you know, you're pretty, and you're nice, and you're cool. I have nothing against you, but like I would legitimately rather be at home just relaxing right now than to spend my day off right now at this coffee shop talking about things that you and I don't have any, like we have nothing in common. And I was just like, and like when that happens, I'm just like, okay, like this is not really working out for me.
My thing is, if I go on a date with someone, how you can tell that if it's going well, and like this is, my friends know this too. The only way that you can tell that the date is going well and I actually like you is if I'm like a kidnapper, chat. If I like you, I'm taking you to a second location. So if we but like if we go to dinner and then I'm like, and the dinner's done, it's like, and I ask you like, oh, do you want to go like maybe grab boba or just go for a walk or like go whatever? That's how you know that I like you.
Okay.
But if I'm just like, all right, peace out, good night. Yeah. Then if like, I'm like, okay, see you later, whatever, then that means it doesn't.
That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, let me just say right now, if I ever try to hit on Gina, like that would just make this way more awkward, because it would make it so awkward. Like, just like, you know, anyone that knows Gina would know now, like if you ever made a move on Gina and you had a dinner with with Gina, and after that dinner, Gina was like, all right, I'll see you later. That is literally her way of telling you face to face, staring you in the eye, saying, I don't like you. You've been friend zoned. That is like literally her way. Fuck off. Exactly.
Unless honestly, I'm like, I had like prior engagements that I made plans for and I have to go, then I will outwardly tell you like, hey, you know, like I'll message you or I'll text you or I'll say it to you in person, like, this was really fun. We should hang out again soon. But if I'm just like, all right, have a good night, and I don't make any follow up, that's how you know. But usually, like, if I'm going on a date with someone, I try not to plan anything after, just in case it goes well and I want to, like, go to, like,
yeah.
You know, continue it. Hold on to that thought. I gotta go to the bathroom, but I do have a question to ask you that I saw someone ask me in chat. So I'll be right back. Okay.
I need to fix this. Okay, so I actually got a DM from someone here, a photographer, talking about the contrast of my light. Like it's bro, like I couldn't agree with you more if you're still in here. Like it just, like it just fucking, my camera turns blue. It's so annoying. Like, this is better now, right? But then it turns fucking blue. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a lighting issue or if that's a camera issue. I don't actually know. Do you guys know? Is that a camera issue or is that an actual lighting issue? It's both. It's a camera. Both. Camera can fix it. Yeah, it's white balance. Yeah. Okay, so I need to get a new camera because I have been thinking about getting a new camera. Set white balance to manual. Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it. It's a you problem. Shut up, Waldo. Shut up. Get out of here, Eugene. Eugene's still here. Why is Eugene still in the chat? Why is Eugene still in the chat? For those of you watching on YouTube, no, I'm not an asshole. Eugene is the asshole, and we meme on him because he bullies us all the time. So just a little context there. He says his name is Waldo. His name is actually Eugene. Because there's a pretty Asian woman, only reason. It's your face. Like, this is better, right? This lighting is better. And then it changes. And, like, I can't, like, fucking change this shit, like, mid conversation, right? Jesus, man. She has to ask her something that's not about dating her. So 90 minutes. Bro, like, I don't know. It's just, like, it's just, I don't know. I guess the topic of dating, like, I have talking points, but, like, it's, like, fucking 4 talking points. Like, all of these podcasts are just freestyle as, like, you know, just free talk. Wherever the conversation leads us at the end of the day. Welcome back. Welcome back.
I have a problem with my camera, too. I fucking hate it. It does
your camera looks fine.
Thing.
Really? Yours does?
When I'm streaming, it changes all the time. It drives me nuts.
What kind of camera do you have?
I have a Sony A7 III.
Okay, all right.
A7 III, yeah. What was it? I had a couple.
Mm-hmm. Ask away.
Oh, as for like the whole like dating question stuff, I find that because I have a podcast also. That's what people like hearing. It's called the Big Mood Podcast. I have a podcast with all the girls that I was with on YouTube for like the longest time.
Oh, wow. I had no idea. I'll definitely check it out.
Like hearing about that. Don't.
No, don't. What?
Jeez.
What do you mean don't? Really? Why?
I mean, check out our podcast. We're fucking awesome. Big Mood Podcast. Just whatever. Just do what you want.
What did you say? It was called
do what you want.
Did you just? Is it
Big Mood Podcast?
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought you said something else. Okay, gotcha.
What you think I said?
I thought you said
Kanon.
big
Kanon,
boob.
what did you?
I thought you said big boob podcast. Yeah, big boob podcast. I thought that's what you said, and I thought that was a very clever name, but it's obviously just big mood. So, yeah. I'm waiting for this question, by the way. I'm waiting for this question.
Someone in chat actually asked. She's from my chat. Her name's Chevelle. She's a regular on my chat for the longest. She's great. She's from the UK.
Hi, Chevelle.
I make fun of her all the time. I make fun of her because she's from the UK and she has one brain cell and that's her only friend, but we love her.
Okay.
She asked a question that I love asking people.
Okay.
Which is, what are your top 2 love languages?
My top 2 love languages?
Uh-huh.
What's a love language?
Oh, that's a whole conversation.
What? Sorry.
He doesn't know. He doesn't know. Get him out. Get him out of here.
What's a love language?
So the love languages is
like the language I speak when I have sex. Like, I don't know. I don't look. I don't know. I have no idea. Don't give me that look. I don't fucking know what love language is. I'm sorry. Please enlighten me. Fuck.
The love languages. It's a book called The 5 Love Languages, but it's also a quiz that you can take online. And I find that this gives me a massive insight into people. So the 5 love languages, you take a quiz. Everyone has all 5, but there's a top 2 that they prefer, and you can find that out with the quiz.
Okay.
And the top 2 is the love languages that it's how you prefer to receive love and how you prefer to show love.
Oh, okay.
Like how you tend to show love.
Okay.
So the languages are gifts, acts of service,
Mm-hmm.
words of affirmation, physical touch, and quality time. So everyone likes all 5 of those, but there's 2 that they prefer to give and receive to be able to feel like they're actually loved.
Interesting.
So my top 2 are gifts and acts of service. And so when people hear that, they're like, "Oh, so you're just very fucking materialistic and you like blah blah blah." It's like, no. You have to understand it's how you prefer to receive and give love. Because for me, how I show someone I love them is like, "Hey, I saw this thing that reminded me of you, so I bought it for you." So it doesn't have to be anything expensive or
Uh-huh.
like extravagant. Like, or if my guy came home and he's like, "Hey, I remember that you liked this from the bakery, so I stopped by and I picked it up for you." That's like huge for me, and I love it so much. Um, or acts of service, which is like, "Hey, I noticed that you're busy, so I went and took care of your dry cleaning for you." Or, "Hey,
Mm.
I noticed that you're sick or something, so I made food and I brought it over." So those are my top 2.
Okay.
Um,
Interesting.
and so the other 3 are also very important, but if I'm in a relationship where the other 3 languages, because like what my significant other likes quality time and words of affirmation, and that's how they give it to me, like that's how they show me love, but they can't do what I want, my top 2, then I will always feel like something's missing and I'm not completely
Okay. Interesting.
yeah. So you have to be very aware of your significant other's top 2 also and be able to speak those 2 love languages well because that's how they prefer to be loved.
Huh.
So you can be like showing your side, like it's like, "But I tell her all the nice things and I spend so much quality time with her and stuff." But if you can't speak her love languages, then she will not feel fulfilled in the relationship.
Okay.
And so mine comes from like my gifts are a big thing for me because okay, so fun story. My dad is a he, my dad is a former gangster. Maximum security 6.5 years, is not allowed to live in our state. So while he was doing time, he would send his friends to my house with presents. So I would have like these scary men that come to my house, like, "Hey, this is a toy from your dad and he loves you." And so that's how I correlate love, gifts and love. So that's where it comes from.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay. I
I'm
see
so
that.
curious to know what everyone else's is or yours is because that's how I like to get to know people.
Okay.
Mhm.
What? Wow. I was definitely off with what I thought of. Okay. What are the? Could you tell me what the options are again?
Quality time,
Quality of time,
physical touch,
physical
like
touch.
hugging, holding hands, sex, I
Uh-huh,
guess, cuddling, all that. Gifts, acts of service, or words of affirmation.
Does
You
does
say words
it
and all that.
does it go both ways?
What do you mean?
Like, for example, like gifts, right? Like, I very much like giving gifts, right? But like I don't really care to, like, it's not that I don't care to receive them. It's that I don't seek gifts in return, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, so like, but like, I really, really like giving gifts,
Mhm.
right? So like, how would that work? What would that be considered? Is that
So that might not be your top 2. It might be like a 3.
okay? Okay. So like, does it, if it's a top 2, does it have to be like both ways where like, for example, if it's gifts, it's like, I like receiving gifts and I like giving gifts.
I for the most part, I feel
Take the
like
quiz. Maybe, is there a quiz?
It doesn't have to be. Yeah, there is a
Okay.
quiz.
How long would it take to take the quiz? Is it
Let
possible?
me see.
Love sign? What was it? Love sign language?
Nailed it, sweetheart. You got it.
Uh-oh.
Here.
I literally, I don't think this is it, but
There you go.
okay. Let's take a look here. Little quiz. Okay. I wonder how long this would take. How long does it ship?
It's like 5 minutes.
5
10
minutes?
or so.
I don't like.
Mhm.
Do you
I
guys?
can link it in chat here.
Yeah. Should I? Oh my gosh! Do I really want to? I was about to say, should I take this like? Should I take this?
I suggest that you don't, because
Yeah.
when other people are tuning into it, you are less likely to answer
True.
honestly. Yeah.
Yes. I've legitimately never heard of this. 5 love languages. I feel like I've been living under a rock. I feel like I've been living. Do you know about the Korean blood types?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on. Actually,
I don't remember what meant what. I know what my blood type is, but I don't
let me
remember
try to
what
guess
it
your
meant.
blood type just based off of meeting you and having like this is our first real conversation, right?
Okay. Okay.
I think
Wait, but I gotta figure
Yeah.
out what each one means first.
true.
Right.
Should I send you something that shows?
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
Korean.
But now that you know about
blood
this whole love
types.
language thing,
Yeah.
it's fun to ask people what it is, because a lot of people actually know what it is, and some people think it's what they say during
Yeah,
sex,
I
apparently.
think that is very interesting. Yeah. I don't know about the words of affirmation one though. I don't know. Like I don't know. I've never really been someone where like I don't know. Yeah, compliments are like whatever. Like they're not that meaningful to me.
It's not necessarily
Yeah.
compliments, but if you achieve something and she's like, "I'm so proud of you. You're amazing. Like I knew you can do it."
Okay.
Or like if you're having a bad day, she's like, "No, I think you're really great, and you have to remember like you've done this, this, and this. That's so wonderful. So don't forget that. Like you're incredible."
Right.
Hmm. Like being supportive, yeah.
Being supportive. Okay, gotcha.
Hmm.
Hold on, let me see if this is Let me see if this is okay.
Oh,
Here's one, but I don't know. Hold on, let me see if I can find a different one here.
Interesting. K. Yeah, so K, I don't know if you're male, female, but from what I've seen in the past, a lot of men rank very low in gifts. So this is actually very surprising.
Wow, I'm a rare breed.
Hmm.
Okay, I think.
Ah, you're a male. Okay. Yeah. Most men are about service and touch.
Where is like I feel like there's a better I did send you one article. It shows you yeah, I guess that one or this one. So I'm just sending. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I want to read mine and see.
Okay. Don't read it out loud because I feel like I can. I think like the first blood type that comes to mind. Hold on, I'm trying to think because you did say. Yeah, here's the thing. You are definitely an O blood type. I think you're either an O blood type. You're either like the three that it would come down to would be an O, B, or an AB. But of those three, it's AB is definitely the last, and it would be a coin flip between O and B. I feel like.
Okay. Let me read O really quick.
Okay.
Blood type O, they're known to be full of energy, practical, and friendly. Blood type O is also labeled a natural leader.
B.
Specialists at communicating their opinions constructively, ensuring that everyone listens to them while remaining friendly. They realize how to control their feelings quite well, giving us significant impressions of being calm and under control. The other site says O is referred to as warriors. People O are often viewed as natural leaders, sometimes natural athletes, outgoing, energetic, optimistic. Okay. And then what was the second one that you guessed?
B.
B.
Yeah. I think you're definitely either a B or O. There's zero. I'll tell you this right now, chat. If she's an A blood type, I will gift 10 subs to her channel right now. There's zero chance that she's an A blood type.
B is extroverted, most extroverted compared to others. They are autonomous and enthusiastic, especially with dealing with someone that fascinates them. That's one of my favorite words. These types do not hesitate to express their true thoughts. Thereafter, they are frequently observed as narcissistic on the grounds that they are exceptionally obstinate and a little reluctant to communicate. And the other site says B is the hunter, known to be very independent natures and tend not to care much about how they are perceived by others. They are said to enjoy life to the fullest, passionate, enthusiastic.
So let me give you like a street talk casual TLDR for the blood types, right? So like A blood types are typically introverted and very sensitive. Like Koreans, like the negative word that a lot of people use to represent A blood types are like the Korean word is bijo, so they'll like kind of like get upset easily, but like they're typically like kinder, nice, you know, again, introverted. That's kind of like the personality trait for an A. A B blood type is more, so B and O are the outgoing blood, are like the more extroverted blood types. B blood type, like the negatives to B blood type would be more like, it could be kind of seen as self-centered, kind of, could be arrogant, but like positives would be kind of like leadership, like type of, you know, no bullshit type of guy. Stubborn is a big one to represent B blood types. And then O blood types are like, typically speaking, just again, extroverted, outgoing. Yeah. So like, I feel like you're either an O or a B, but the thing is like AB is like the wild card. So like they say that AB blood types in Korea, you're either batshit crazy or a fucking genius. It's either one of the two. Now, here's the thing, though. I like every AB blood type girl that I've ever dated, I've actually had great compatibility with. So maybe I just got like the genius ones, or maybe I'm just compatible with batshit crazy. I don't know. Every AB girl that I've personally dated, it's always been like I feel like it's been a great match for me. But I think obviously ABs, I don't know you well enough, maybe, because like AB blood types can be pretty eccentric and outgoing as well. So it could be, but I'd probably put my money on either an O or a B. My first initial thought was, to be perfectly honest, an O, but it's really close between a B and an O. But I definitely think you're between one of those two.
What are you?
What would you think I am? What would you guess?
I don't understand this enough to be able to make the guess.
Okay. I am a B blood type. I'm a B blood type. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Can't just have blood. I'm a B blood type. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what's your blood type?
I am O.
You're an O.
Good
See? I got it, chat. I got
Good
it.
guess.
Thank you.
Guess.
Thank you. See,
now I know what blood bags to get when I have to keep you alive.
Blood bags. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, I'm an O positive.
I don't know the positive and negative one though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that I don't know. Not super familiar with that one. Are you?
It is, but
I was gonna say, do you believe in like the constellation stuff too?
I like to read it for funsies. Like I don't take it very seriously. Like if I met someone and they're like, "Oh, you are definitely this, and you must be that," and you're like, "Oh, I would never date him because he's a Sagittarius." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, dude! Like, shut up." But I like to read it for fun.
Okay, gotcha.
Are you?
No, not at all. I don't really believe in a lot of that type of stuff, but I will say I think the blood type one is like. I think the blood type one is pretty true. I don't know. Like every single A blood type that I've met, like legitimately easily gets upset. And every B blood type I've met has like that arrogant, stubborn type of characteristic. Like, just like, yeah. And every O blood type that I've met is kind of like you, outgoing and, extroverted. I mean, you consider yourself to be extroverted, right? Like, Actually,
On
no.
camera, yes. In person,
Okay.
absolutely not.
Really? Okay.
Mhm.
Well, I'm getting like the camera version, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm kind of a recluse and I prefer to be by myself, but I'm
Mhm.
good at being an extrovert for a certain amount of time, and then I completely disappear for a while.
What's your what is that? MBTI?
I am a what was it? Let me look it up. I know which one it is. I am surprisingly though, according to this, I remember what it was, the campaigners. So I am an ENFP.
ENFP. Okay, okay.
Yeah. I
Campaigner.
don't
Okay,
remember.
right.
Mhm. But I never really read into it very much to kind of really understand it.
Laven, this is the first time you've heard about this. Interesting. Have I not talked to you about this before, Laven? I feel like I feel like I would have.
Hmm.
Okay, so I mean, your MBTI has you as an extrovert.
Yeah, I think it's it's I'm good at being an extrovert. Like when
Uh-huh.
people meet me, they think that I am an extrovert. They're like, "Oh, you must love going out." And I don't. I am very much a homebody.
Yeah, I mean,
To,
I feel like that wouldn't
yeah.
make you an introvert. They're like, I'm a homebody too. I very much like and prefer to stay at home. That could be me being a boomer now, though. Like, now
Grey
that I'm
Wolf
older.
says extroverted in those MBTI tests doesn't mean you're an extrovert. It's sensing. Sensing. What does that mean?
Doesn't the doesn't the E actually stand for extrovert for the MBTI
Mhm.
thing? I thought it actually I thought it literally stood for extrovert. The E.
Let's see. Bloody says that test designates extroverts as someone that gets the energy from people. Oh, that couple include your entertainment platform. Okay, I see. So we pull energy from. I see. Chevelle says mine is SIMP for Gina.
SIMP for Gina.
Energy vampires. Oh God, I love that show so much. What We Do in the Dark. Okay, so it's not exactly what you are, but I see.
Mm. What? Hold on. What was the name? What was the name of your podcast again?
Big Mood
Big
podcast?
Mood.
Oh.
Big Mood podcast. And is that on your? Is that like on YouTube or something? Does it? Do you have like
Yeah,
your own
it's
separate
on-
channel?
Yeah, it's everywhere. It's on YouTube, Spotify, and all that stuff.
Oh, okay. Like, how often
Mhm.
do you guys have episodes?
Every week, once a week.
Oh, really? So it's ongoing, like actively right now.
Uh-huh.
When did you guys start that?
God, 2 years ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah,
Wow.
2 years ago. Oh, damn.
And you've been
Was
doing
has
it
been 2
every single week for 2 years?
We meet once a month, film 4 episodes, and like roll them out.
Oh, okay. So you guys do it in person. I would love to do
Mm-hmm.
a podcast like in person, but I live in
It's
fucking
fun.
Korea. So the only two people that I could technically do it with are actually two people that, I feel like I would get pretty good viewership with, considering they're both Lost Ark creators. But apparently they don't really go out. So I've been trying to get them to come out, but like, yeah, that's not really happening.
It's difficult because we have 4 members and 2 of them live out of state, so they fly in once a month to film. It's quite some dedication.
Oh, wow.
Mhm.
Wow. Well, so
Mhm.
like G4, is
Right.
that like your main employer, or like how's that work? Like, do you have like
Yeah.
some kind of like exclusive deal with them? Like, do they prevent you from doing certain things? Like, I'm assuming not, considering you're on this podcast right now and you're just like, yeah, sure. I'll
Oh no,
hop
you'll be
on.
hearing from our lawyers.
Oh, okay, I see. I got you. Am I gonna be slapped with a fat bill? Is that what's gonna happen?
Yeah, there's actually an appearance fee, so you'll hear from them. Don't worry, you'll get the emails.
Okay, cool. That's fantastic.
No, they are very pretty. They are very, very lenient with
Mm-hmm.
what we do because they never want to stop us as creators of our own
Oh, that's
brand.
awesome. Yeah.
The only thing is we would have to clear like big brands with them. Like say if like a Taco Bell wants to work with me, but we're exclusively sponsored by McDonald's, then we would have to go into discussions with that legally.
Right. Okay, that makes
Mhm.
sense. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha. Sounds like, I mean, they're a pretty good org to work for, right? I mean, it sounds like they take pretty good care of you.
They're amazing.
Have you felt a lot of growth working with a brand like G4?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, G4 is such a household name in gaming. Like I grew
Yeah.
up watching
Yeah.
G4, you know,
Yeah, for sure.
that it really has opened up so many doors, and my brand has definitely grown. And they've never gotten in the way of like if I told them, hey, I can't come in next Wednesday because I'm shooting with this, whatever. They're like, yeah, sure, that's fine, you
Hmm.
know. And it's introduced me to so many new things. Like I became because of G4, I became a massive fan and now player of Dungeons and Dragons. Like
Do
I
you play Dungeons and
fucking love
Dragons? Oh my
D&D.
god!
Yeah.
Like my mods and my mods have been trying to get me to play Dungeons and Dragons, saying it's super fun. And look, I'm definitely willing to try it, but I don't know. If I just like I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things I have to try, but for me, it's like I don't know. It just I can't
It's
see myself getting into it.
it's fun. Like it's like role playing. Like it's just so much fun. But the thing is, the problem with that now is that because of G4, we have a D&D show. We are the world's first D&D show on
Okay.
television.
Okay.
So we have quite possibly like one of the best dungeon masters ever. So
Who's that?
now his name is B. Dave Walters,
Okay.
and he is a master of his craft, and he plays um like exclusive not exclusively, but he plays for the actual like D&D company and everything. He DMs for
Uh-huh.
them. He also plays as a player. He is a
He's like the Captain Flowers of Dungeon Master.
pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't there another guy that was super, super good? Like, there's like a bigger
Yes.
show. There's like a big
Matt
show.
Mercer is another
Yes,
one.
Matt Mercer. That's the name.
Mhm.
I do remember that name because that's the name that my mods keep telling me
Right.
about.
I've yet to play with him. I hope I get to one day. But I've gotten to play with some of the best DMs in the world, and it's just so incredible. Like the world building and everything is just so much fun, and I completely fell in love with it within the last like the beginning of this year, and I'm just like completely just in that world now. So because of G4, like all these doors are opening up, and I'm learning new things, and I'm falling in love with new things, and it's been such a fun ride the whole entire time.
Hold on. So, did you play RPGs when that was a
Uh,
thing, like in like for
As a
PlayStation and
child, yeah,
like
as a
console games?
child, hmm I'm very very big into Final Fantasy all the way up until Final Fantasy 10.
How are you
Um,
into Final Fantasy games and Dungeons and Dragons, but not into MMORPGs? I don't I can't connect that because like I feel like people that are into Dungeons and Dragons and Final Fantasy games, it's like those people are the people that play MMORPGs.
True. I think it's because I play, but I don't go super technical into stats very much.
Okay.
And that's why Final Fantasy VIII was one of my favorites because the magic drawing system was probably like the easiest thing.
Uh huh.
Um, and stat wise in D&D is my stats are pretty much like they help me build it. Like B Dave helps me build my character sheet and everything and
Uh
understand,
huh.
you know. But when I logged into or from what I've seen in MMOs and what I've seen in Lost Ark, it's just like wall of text for this and then wall of text for that and also these achievements here and these things that you have to do here and a wall of text over here. If you want to go over there, you have to go to this part and talk to this person, and then like this item adds all this, and you know, like it's a lot. It's a lot of information.
Right. Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So this whole Dungeons and Dragons thing, do you role play as well? Like, do you get into character and use the
Oh yes.
voices and everything? Yeah, you become your
Uh,
character.
I've fallen in love with every character that I've made. I don't do voices because that's more advanced.
Okay.
Like the people I play with, they have like 16 different voices, a bunch of different accents that they can do,
Oh
and it's
wow.
incredible. For me, my characters, I've kind of fallen in love with them because I've made them so that they're kind of like me. Like my favorite parts about me,
Uh huh.
and I get to have fun with them because I'm playing characters that I don't have to think about like what this opposite character would do. I would just think about what I would do in the situation, and that's why I love playing my characters so much.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I mean, Dungeons and Dragons. I don't know. I cannot see myself ever playing Dungeons and Dragons. I just can't. I'd be willing to. I'd be definitely willing to, but like I still am ignorant to the craze, like to the draw of Dungeons and Dragons, because everyone seems to fucking love Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm just kind of thinking, I'm like.
Okay, so the best thing about D&D is that it's an RPG that you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like whatever you want. Like one of our characters, Kasim, we came upon like I think it was like a goblin or a troll or something, and since you can do whatever you want, like one person be like, well, I want to fight it. Well, Kasim decides to fuck it. So he's like, I'm gonna try to seduce that troll, and I'm gonna try to fuck it.
Okay.
And you know, you have to roll and see if you can actually do it. If your stats are high enough, that yeah, you can do it. And I think he ended up fucking that character.
Okay, so what happens when he fucks the troll? What happens then?
You have a really good DM that, you know,
that role plays
tells the rest of the story. It's like, okay, well, you rolled, you know, a fucking natural 20, so you fuck her, she falls in love with you, she follows you wherever you go. So he has to have, like, your DM has to be incredible at storytelling and
so he's the dungeon master is literally, it's like improv storytelling.
Yes.
Okay, so he determines everything.
Yes.
So if I was ever a dungeon master, it would be the most ridiculous story ever, because I would turn the story into something ridiculous. It would be like,
yeah. Good DMs go along with what's happening and don't actively try to kill their players all the time. Like it has to be fun.
Okay, interesting. All right, well,
I think you have a good time, and like I think, especially if you're playing with friends.
Yeah, for sure, with friends. I think it's the element of role playing that I'm not like, that hasn't really like I don't know. I'm not a role player. I'm not big into the whole role playing. So like I don't know if I would be able to like role play as my character in the thing. Like if I had like kids, you know, if I was, you know, like I have like a 5-year-old boy that likes this shit, of course, you know, I could role play, make it fun for him. But like for me, amongst adults, it's like, I don't know, man. I was shy at first. Yeah, maybe it is. It probably is that, you know, just that uncomfortable, you know, just being uncomfortable with role playing. I don't know.
So when it comes to role playing, I can understand that too. I was a little bit shy too. But then the first character you always make is, we suggest that you make the character like yourself. Okay. You know? Okay. So you don't have to think about like what your reaction is. Like my first character, she was a multi-class. She was a bard paladin.
Bard paladin.
Yeah.
So you just picked the two best classes in Lost Ark and made him the one fucking character. Okay.
But I made her backstory and her personality like me. So a bard isn't necessarily just someone who has to play a fucking lute and like buffs his team or debuffs the enemies. A bard can be anything. So mine was a shit-talking bard.
Okay.
So I can debuff or buff by talking shit. You know? And she was also a massive kleptomaniac that like, so we have some D&D players in here. So my character, like I can fight, but I also talk shit. I was a kleptomaniac that stole a bunch of things. And my weapons were like what I liked, and my instrument of choice, I chose a fucking bagpipe. Like you can make your character like your personality. Okay. The second character that I'm playing now is also a kleptomaniac, but she's a healer. She's our cleric, and she is basically a child that loves like animals and stuff. Like this is our homebrew game. Like she loves animals. She collects and tries to make friends with all animals and all these pets and stuff. So I made all my characters like me. That way it's easier to play them. You're more comfortable. Right. You're not acting. You're not too shy to act as a character. You're just playing yourself.
Just being yourself,
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like, wait, can you play like drunk Dungeons and Dragons? Is that a thing, or is that not fun?
Yes, you can. I have never, because I've only played in a professional setting, like on camera, but I've always wanted to play like a homebrew game with my friends, just absolutely shit-faced.
Okay.
And I think it would be so much fun.
I think
And you can just come up with all these crazy things. Like I have something that I call the dagger of healing. And I'm a healer, and the way I heal with my dagger of healing is I have to stab you and you get like 3 HP points back, but you lose 1, you know? Like it's just the
Right.
dumbest things you can come up with.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So it's just imaginary. Okay. All right. Well, we'll try it eventually, chat. I'm sure we will. Maybe we save it for a drunk stream. Make it a little bit more entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
all
it's
right.
it's just find yourself a good DM and play like a couple like simple campaigns, and I think you might fall in love with it. I absolutely like I love it so much. Like I'm actively collecting dice now.
Are you like physical dice? Oh
Yeah,
wow.
like I have my dice here. Like I have my ones here. And it's and I've gotten to meet a lot more people play D&D than I thought. Like we had Freddie Prinze Jr. come on and play,
Oh wow.
and he's a massive D&D nerd.
Yeah.
He was amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot of celebrities that actually played. I
Mhm.
saw him on that Matt Mercer show. Is it that's the show that has Matt Mercer on it, right? Or it's like
Our show, no.
on Twitch. There's a big
Mhm.
show on Twitch that's Dungeons and Dragons. I can't remember what it's called. Critical Role.
Critical
Thank
Role.
you. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like Terry Crews came on. It was pretty insane. I was really surprised. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know, like, cause they're actors. Like it's even like it's it's pretty
The
cool to
actors
watch.
are
I guess.
Fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, because I mean, it's literally what they do, right? Like they act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Freddie Prinze Jr. came on and he played a pirate king. And my character, since I made her after me, my character is horny.
Horny.
So I was like
You made
actively
a-
hitting on him.
You made a character based off of you, and
Yes.
that character was a horny character.
Always horny on main.
Okay.
Like relentlessly, shamelessly horny on main all the time.
Okay, because that's based off of you.
Yes.
Right. Gotcha.
There was a viral clip. Let me see if I can find it, where of me playing with Freddie Prinze Jr. And hold on. And I planned a little thing without telling them what I was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it? And it went viral. And then right after I did it, I realized, oh shit, I just did this on national TV. Fuck it, whatever. We're gonna roll with it.
Yeah. Let's see it. I want to see this.
Where is it? Here it is. Here you go.
Let's see it. All right, let's take a look. Hold up.
So, other than Snake Charmer,
Hold on.
what would you like?
Hold on, chat. I'm gonna play this. Hold up. I'll show you guys. Okay.
So, other
So,
than Snake
a little-
Charmer, what would you like me to call you? Are you all right?
Yeah. I'm fine. Okay. You can call me Onira.
Onira.
Yes.
So, other than Snake Charmer, what
This
would you
is
like me
like-
to call you?
This is like full on act. This is like full on acting. Like
Well, this was like full production. Like we had to act because we had a stage that we would
Okay,
go on
right.
and act into.
uh-huh.
Usually when you're playing D&D at home, you don't have to do all that. But we had a full production camera crew stage that we all acted on. It's called The Circle. And when
Right.
you get pulled down to the circle, you have to play your role.
Right.
So that's a little bit more intense. You don't have to do that when you play.
Yeah. By the way, Freddie
so-
Prinze Jr. Oh my gosh, he's
Gorgeous,
gotten
right?
old.
But he is like a silver fox gorgeous.
Yeah. I will. He
so-
looks pretty good. I will give him that. But I was a little surprised. I was like, oh my, because like the last time I saw Freddie Prinze Jr., it was in like one of his old movies where he was like a young guy,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden I'm seeing like this older version.
I mean, he played it so well. He played a pirate king. He had like that gruff voice. Where did my camera go?
I don't know. You disappeared on us.
Weird.
Yeah, that voice too. that
No, he
voice.
called me the snake charmer because my character, my race was a Yuan-ti. They're a snake race. And I carried a snake with me because they're my favorite
Oh.
animals.
Snake is your favorite animal.
Hmm.
Oh wow. That's
My
interesting.
camera is being a butt right now. I don't know what's
You're
going
gone.
on.
You are gonzo.
Yeah. One sec.
Mm.
Oh, what is happening?
I had no
Oh,
idea he was
there
that
we go.
much. He was that into it. There she is. Welcome back.
There you go. Hi.
Hello, Gina. Welcome back.
Yeah. But yeah, like it's been fun. It's been a fun
You're
ride.
all right.
But yeah, snakes are my favorite animals. I used to have a pet snake, and I have a snake tattooed on me, and I'm born
Do
the year
you?
of a snake. Mhm.
Oh, okay. You're okay. You're the year of the snake. Gotcha.
Mhm.
Huh. I'm a rabbit, by the way.
Oof. Yikes.
What do you mean? Oof! Yikes! What do you mean?
I think
What?
that means that we're not gonna get along.
Because rabbit and snake?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think rabbits are a little bit
So
too.
see the whole cannibalism thing, it works out. See, snakes eats rabbits. There you go. So people in here, they know.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that. I don't know what to say to that. What? Wait.
Also, what time is it over there, and how are you still alive?
Yeah, I was gonna just say that I just actually noticed that this podcast, like, we've been going on for over 3 hours now. I've been trying to keep these podcasts like 2.5 hours, and we've obviously gone over. So I think we should call it here. I think it's a good stopping point for us today. Gina, thank you so much for joining me here today on this podcast. It is like right now it's about 6:30 in the morning.
Oh Jesus.
KR time. I was not expecting it to go this late, but I had an absolute blast talking to you and getting to know you. Thank you so much for joining me. I know you're super busy, and I know, like, I wanted to do it a little bit late. I was seriously considering just going to bed early and then waking up early and then starting the day with the podcast. But yeah, we ended up doing it when we did it.
No. Thanks for having me. I will just say that this was my day off, and Kanon made me wake up early to do this, so you owe me. I am not a morning person, so I have to get up at 9 a.m. for you on my day off, but that's fine. It's okay. I'll collect later.
I appreciate
but no,
that.
this was actually really fun. It's I love being on like super chill podcasts and like getting to know people. So I had a wonderful time. Your chat's super, like, they're so nice. They are very, very fun, and they just take any chance they can to throw you under the bus. So
I know.
I feel
They're
you.
bullies.
Same thing with mine. They're
bullies.
fun.
I would honestly offer you Korean barbecue, but I feel like your definition of Korean barbecue and my definition is too different.
I would grab your hand and hold it on the grill.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of intimidating. We got snakes in here, chat. You gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with the snakes, man. Oh man. Listen, Gina.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. I'm starting to feel it right now. I don't know if you guys could tell. You guys could probably tell. I'm starting to get fried here, but I had an absolute blast talking to you. You're an amazing person, and I'm so glad that I was able to connect with you through G4. And I'm looking forward to checking out your podcast, which I will, if you're watching this on YouTube, I will link that channel in the description below. So definitely check that out. Weekly, it's a weekly thing. Is it like, do you release episodes on a specific day every week? What day is it?
Yes. Tuesday mornings, every Tuesday.
Tuesday. So that's, wait a second. So we're due for a new episode then, right? Because it's, yeah. And the next day, well, it's Tuesday morning for me. So
yeah.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to checking it out. Thank you, Gina. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Thanks, chat. I love you guys. Be good. Don't talk to strangers. You get some rest. It's late for you. Go to sleep.
I will. Thank you, Gina.
Okay. Bye, everyone.